to learn a lot.
All right, welcome everybody. My name's Edward Pereira. I am your co-host, along with my very good friend and business partner, Mr. Attila Hevesy, and Einstein himself. Actually, yesterday I called him Mr. Edison, this guy that's created a light bulb that he wants to share the bright light with everybody. Mr. Barsano, thank you for joining us. I am going to take a few minutes of your time and set some expectations, and then I'm going to turn it over to my friend Attila, who will give us a little bit of background. And those of you that are joining us that have joined us before have heard this before, but there's always another little wrinkle to add. But we appreciate the opportunity to have you here on a Wednesday in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, that you're taking your time, your extraordinarily valuable time, to learn some things that if you've not seen it before, you will never see it any other place. So we're happy to share. We're happy to serve. We're happy that you joined us. And thank you to all the repeat offenders that have, and I say that with the most loving intention, and we appreciate you. We are thrilled that you join us to chime into the chat, to give unbiased opinion and share sentiment with those that don't necessarily know what we're talking about. Or when someone comes out and says it's too good to be true, it's not. Strap in, get your 6-point harness, because we're going to take you for a ride today, and we appreciate that. So with that, I'm going to share my screen and give you some expectations. So what can you expect out of today? Transformation, I think, is the best word that wraps up the opportunity for us to share something that doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. You may have heard of bots this and trading this and courses this and that and the other. It doesn't exist anywhere. You're about to see something that is a one of a kind. And even if somebody tried to replicate it in today's world, Mr. Barsano has put us 25 years ahead of the pack. So you're going to see about a 45-minute deep dive of Go Baby Trade, the product of the platform that is an automated trading, crypto trading platform and money management system. Money management being the key. We'll talk a lot about that. That is enhanced with AI agents. But as Mr. Barsano, at the risk of stealing a little bit of his thunder, the AIs in the system are not the star of the dish. The money management is, because it keeps you in the game all the time. You're going to see a system that works 24/7, takes 10 minutes to set up once you actually secure the license, 3-year license, and it just works for you morning, noon, and night in your sleep, literally. And we're going to show you some real live traders. You're going to see what I have deemed the $1 billion report. Excuse me, it's Mr. Barsano just refers it blandly as a high trade report, but you'll understand, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but you'll understand how powerful it is when you see it and how it relates to what we're going to show you. You're going to see 2 live demonstrations. One that I've shared over the past 5 months that I've created based on the $1 billion report to show you how powerful the tools within the system are. And then you'll be able to see a live demonstration of a live trading account. But keep this in mind, mind simulation, Mr. Barsano's is live. The platform doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know that there's a simulation. It just knows that it's making money hand over fist while you sleep. And then you'll see through this presentation why it literally is set it and forget it. And Mr. Hevesy will share some things about little fine points that you're going to want to pay attention to when you hear and see what we have. And then we're going to transition into a Q&A session. The first part's going to be relatively contained. We do it all the time, and we hope it's very concise. Your questions. The chat's going to be open. The chat is open. So please do share within the chat. But if you have a question, there's only 3 of us. We don't have a moderator behind the scenes. But if you have a question, please put it into the Q&A section so that we can make sure that as we transition from the presentation to the Q&A, that your question gets answered. Now, on the occasion that we have way too many questions to keep you here until midnight East Coast time, if we don't get to your question, don't worry. We're going to give you the opportunity to share the question in our support emails, and we don't forget anybody. We may not be able to get back to you today or tomorrow, but your questions will be answered. And then as we transition, there's a big announcement that's going to make that part even easier. You've asked for it, and we're going to tell you about it. So with that, let me turn it over to, well, I'm sorry. Disclaimer. I got to show you red letters for a minute. Whatever you see here is educational and information only. I'm not going to read this word for word. We're professionals, but we're not certified in tax, legal, marital advice. Mr. Barsano sometimes shares that. Just remember, she's always right. He's always right. We're not attorneys. We're not giving you any.
Want her to be happy.
Right. Everybody needs to be happy. And then if you like this trader, you'll be happy. Now, the results aren't guaranteed. We are going to show you factual based performance on this platform that has been performed over the last 4 years since it was released in 2021. This is all at your own risk. What you see is as is. We're all semi-adult sometimes, but don't go spinning it and saying something that we didn't say. We're intending to serve you and put you in a position where you can make money 24/7, 365 in your sleep for life. This is a life trader. Once you make money, unless you hate making money, you're always going to be part of this platform. So with that, let me turn it over to my good friend, Mr. Attila, and go forward.
Yeah, thank you, Edward. My name is Attila Heveshi. I'm here in Florida, and my job is to just basically tell you the story of how it is that I met Mr. Barsano, and as a result, we're all here today. Now, my background, most of my life has been purely financial, and once the financial services, wealth advisor, it's raised money for various projects. But I don't want to bore you with the details. Fast forward to actually exactly 5 years ago. Really exactly 5 years ago, like this week, give or take a few days, I made a conscious, proactive decision to learn all I could about this space because I missed the internet revolution. And I promised myself there's no way I'm going to miss the digital money revolution because, first of all, it's way too interesting. It's very, very intriguing to me. And it's very lucrative, and it's the future. And the train, even 5 years ago, I felt like the train had left the station and there's no turning back. Now, that's much, much more evident today, but I had the conviction back then. So, and you don't need to do any of this, by the way, to own the trader. I'm just giving you a background. And I'm a cash flow guy also. I love cash flow. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. But anyway, what happened was Mr. Barsano, after he finished the Navy, he was literally one of the first 300 people hired by Bill Gates at Microsoft. This was the mid-'80s, and things were pretty crazy there. And he did extremely, extremely well, led a lot of projects for over 9 years, retired a young man, under 40, and got into playing with the stock market. That's when all the tech stocks were going vertical. And in the year 2000, fortunately for all of us, he got his rear end kicked in pretty good with the stock market. And I think he'll tell you in his own words, it wasn't so much the money he lost, it's the fact that, you know, he saw that the trading of stock market for the average person is really more like gambling, and it's a rigged game. So
I saw that I was robbed.
Yeah, yeah, he felt like he was robbed, literally. And, you know, he wanted to serve the average person so that they didn't have to succumb to that. And so they didn't get robbed. So what did he do? He took his programming prowess, he put it to work, and he developed the world's first fully robotic, autonomous stock market trader for the consumer. The big boys on Wall Street already had things that were similar to that, but the consumers, I mean, folks, it's amazing what he put together in 2000 in today's terms. If you saw this thing work today, let alone 25 years ago, was quite something. So he launched that successfully, sold a whole bunch of traders. And in 2000, a good buddy of mine introduced me to Ed, and he said, my friend said, how'd you like to trade the stock market without doing a darn thing? And I was like, how the heck can that be possible? Because I always look at ways to make money. So he showed me the platform. He introduced me to Ed. I bought the software on the spot. And back then, Mr. Barsano teamed up with a marketing company that in 2 years helped him sell $16 million worth of licenses. Folks, that's a lot of traders. But you know how partnerships are. It was rough going. So he said, you know what? I'm going back to my own. I want to protect my brand. And he had every right to do that. And he went back to being solo. And in 2019, sold out to a hedge fund that had previously purchased many, many traders from him. Now, this is where the story kind of takes a twist. So it was about 18 months ago, March of 2024. I was having a little bit of a rough day at the office, and I'm sitting there going, boy, I got a nice crypto portfolio, but I'm a cash flow guy. I love cash flow. My parents always said cash is king. I believe that's been replaced with cash flow is king. And I had been in several blockchain crypto cash flow projects that unfortunately didn't work out well. And by the way, the reason it didn't work out well is because the money was at a third-party exchange or wallet. I didn't control the money. So that was not good. But anyway, I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and it took me a whole day, 24 hours, but it hit me right between the eyes. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, I forgot about my friend Ed Barsano. I'm pretty darn confident that somewhere along the line, he probably built a trader for crypto. So I still had his phone number. I tracked him down. We spoke for 3 hours, and he confirmed my hunch. He said, yeah, Till, I launched this in April of 21. And he said, as soon as I launched it, within an hour, I said, I'm done with stocks. He saw the volatility was crazy. And he also said, it's light years ahead of the stock trader, the crypto trader is. And I said, how so? So he said 4 things. Number one, he said, Attila, you know that the stock market trades 5 days a week, about 6 hours a day. Well, crypto's 24/7. That's a big advantage. And I said, absolutely. Number two, he said, you know that you need a lot of volatility to make money in any kind of trading, whether it's Forex, precious metals, crypto, stocks, doesn't matter. He said, there's no asset class on earth with more volatility, up and down, up and down, up and down, than crypto. And I agreed again because I knew the market. But number three and number four was what really solidified my belief in grabbing this thing and just sharing it with the world, because I urged him to do that. And that was the fact that he said it's not web-based anymore. I'm sorry, he said it's not downloadable software anymore. I made it web-based. I said, what does that mean exactly? He says, what that means is in less than 10 minutes, I could have you, when you buy the license now, I can have you trading live connected to your Coinbase. So I said, giddy up, let's go. I bought the license on the spot. And in about 8-9 minutes, I was connected live to my Coinbase with just under 10 grand. I was flabbergasted because I remember 2012. It wasn't like that. Okay. So number four was really the most important one to me. He said, Attila, I created an API connection to your own Kraken or Coinbase account. So guess what? You and only you control your funds and your money. I said, Ed, that's brilliant. And I told him the story of the monies that I lost in the crypto markets because I didn't control my crypto. I said, Ed, this means that nobody has to worry about the safety and security of their funds. Do you have any idea how vital and critical and important that is to the marketplace? And he agreed. So I said, we got to bring this to the world. This is too important. And he's been wanting to share this with the average Tom, Dick, and Harry and Sally since 2000. So that's how we all ended up here in front of all of you. And we, Edward and I, it was quite a coincidence, but we hooked up with Crypto Casey in early 2024. And, she bought the trader unbeknownst to us after we told the story, used it for 3 months. And she said, boy, we got to talk. I need to introduce this to my audience. I can't believe what this thing's doing. So by the way, we are, Edward and I, just so you know, financial intelligence for you. We're kind of like for Crypto Casey, we are the support system and the educational system on her behalf. That's why we're here today. We do this for her audience. Okay. So, before I turn it back for 1 or 2 minutes to Edward, I want to just ask everybody to keep 2 things in mind. Number one, make sure to understand when we say set it and forget it or 100% unattended, we really mean that. In other words, when you buy the trader, the license, once you're live, it requires zero screen time. You don't have to do anything, which is really nice. Even when you want to add money to the trader, guess what? You do nothing with the trader. You add it to your exchange, Coinbase or Kraken. The trader picks up that you've added more money. Number two, please understand what Mr. Barsano has brought to the world. It's pretty amazing. What he did when he leveled the playing field and he made that decision, hey, I've been robbed. I'm going to show them. He always says, he cracks me up when he says, I'm going to show them a thing or two, whoever them is. But you know, what the heck was I about to say? Oh yeah. So what he did was when he decided to level the playing field, understand that by doing that, he's allowed anybody and everybody without being an accredited investor, without knowing anything about trading, without knowing anything about even crypto, without hardly knowing anything about your computer, you could now make money in your sleep and put a portion of your financial life to work on full automatic. And that's never been seen or done before. So what Mr. Barsano's created here, really, like Edward said a few minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, this is not available anywhere else. And he's got a 25-year head start. And it purrs like a kitten. It just plain old works. This just works. And you'll find out how it works from him in a minute. But Edward, before we introduce Ed Barsano, you've got a real interesting story with your simulation trader. Share that with everybody without taking too long. And tell them what happened March 25th of this year.
Yeah, this should only take like an hour and 20 minutes. Right. So I think I have to, on Mr. Barsano's behalf, I have to correct you. I think he said, I'm going to hurt you. I don't know who you is.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
But Mr. Barsano has a voice of his own. So let me share what I had mentioned in the overview. This is a simulation. Again, the platform doesn't know that it's simulation. For all it knows, it's just spitting out money, which it does. And you'll see Mr. Barsano's one of his live traders. But just to give you an overview, I pulled all but Zora. Zora's an outlier because someone on our calls 3 or 4 weeks ago said, "Hey, why isn't Zora on the $1 billion report?" Well, the answer is because it needs 1 year of trading data, which it does not. It's only, I think, two months old-ish. But I wanted to see if, in fact, the trader would pick it up, and sure enough, it did. So
I never do that, by the way. I never throw. Well, once in a while, yeah, I've done it.
Since it's
It doesn't usually result in good results.
Right. Well, particularly something new that doesn't have a track record, which your $1 billion report aggregates that information and makes it super easy. And we'll get a chance to show you what that is later. But just to set the table, I opened this 5 months ago, March 25th, 2025. And you can see that on the left in the blue. I opened it with $100,000 and account value is now 122. I don't have anything else in here other than what you see. I pulled these all but Zora out of the $1 billion report as the highest, some of the highest trade counts, which means very volatile. The more and I coined something else. I said, this platform eats volatility. So in this case, these are very, very volatile coins. And quite frankly, in the grand scheme of things, I don't care what they are or what they do, but they are super solid. If they're on Coinbase, if they're listed on Coinbase or Kraken, those two companies are very large $1 billion companies that have a reputation. They're not going to put some crazy coin on there for you to trade if it's not vetted. So it's their reputation, right? So with that, it's been trading for a little bit over 5 months. This shows you, and we'll get into more detail. Mr. Barsano will when we get into the Q&A. But this shows you today's profits, right? Which you can correlate right down here to the bottom in the filled orders. It shows you when it happened, and we'll talk about that in a second. It shows you what the trader has made in its sleep. It doesn't sleep over the last 30 days. And here's the incredible number. in just a little over 5 months, not even half a year, it's running at a pace of 95% ROI, cash made in your pocket, $41,532.54. And I wouldn't be surprised, even though today's a quiet trading day, that if when it takes a profit, there's Mr. Barsano's got a sense of humor. It rings like a cash register and it'll pop up. So this number represents the current profit saved. Now, let me talk for a half a second about that. Is that when you buy the trader, it comes predefined with all of the defaults in it. You can literally just push the buttons and say, go, fund your account, and it does its own thing. Mr. Barsano's group has already picked sample coins that you can just say trade defaults, and it will pop those in there, most of which you see on the screen here, again, except for Azora. But the system comes telling it to save 100% of your profit. So whenever it makes a profit, this $47.20, as a matter of fact, for the last 3 months, I've changed it from save zero and roll it back into the market to save 100%. So everything that you see here for the last 3 months, and we'll go through that, don't mean to blur your eyes by blowing by it, but it's gone into the save bucket. So in the last 3 months, it saved a little bit over $17,000. With that, I'm not going to give you any details about this over here because this is Mr. Barsano's baby, and we'll explain it. You'll know whatever it does, and it does without your attendance. And it's super simple. If you look at the layout, the snapshot or the dashboard gives you everything you need to know. But what you need to know is you don't have to stare at it. You just let it do its thing. I've not looked at this in several days, and I'm seeing that it's taking profits while I don't pay attention to it. So with that, let me turn it back over to Mr. Hevesy to introduce our grand guest and the gentleman and the genius that has created this platform.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Edward. Yeah, so now Ed Barsano, as always, thank you for joining us this Wednesday. The floor is yours. I know usually you have some follow-up comments on based on what Edward and I said. So if you want to start with that, or we can go right into the questions.
Yeah, more straightforward, all the things we got wrong.
Yeah. Well, for starters, I would like to thank Crypto Casey for inviting me to speak to her audience. I appreciate that. She is amazing. If you go to Go Baby Trade or go to YouTube and just type in Crypto Casey or type in Go Baby Trade in YouTube, you'll see a lot of the videos. And she's got a lot of them. And she's very knowledgeable. Okay, for the first question, it says why you won't see it anywhere else. Edward, you mentioned why you won't see this kind of a strategy anywhere else. Because number one, it involves a lot of, I should say, I hate to say it, but mastery in your programming. And I've been programming 51 years, even though I'm only 51 years old. Isn't that amazing? And, so I've been programming a lot of years, 8 years in the Navy, 2 years in nuclear engineering for the government, and 8.5 years at Microsoft. So I can really program. But the number two thing that you won't, is the reason that you don't see it anywhere else, is because you can't just automate the market without knowing how to make money in the market. Otherwise, you're just automating losing strategies, and I make this stuff look super easy for you, but it's millions of lines of code and multiple supporting programs that feed the auto trader. So it's not just one little program sitting there running, and because I make it look so simple on the screen, but there's really a lot more involved. And that's why it takes a lifetime to actually do something like this. You literally have to give it your life. And now, why was I willing to give it my life? Well, I didn't expect to be doing it forever, but But I tried retirement when I was 39 and I didn't like it. So I played retirement for 5 years and I thought that's for the birds, man. I can understand why people die after they retire. You know, it has nothing to do with their age. You don't know that either. You think people are just old and then they die after they retire. It's like, no, you can be young and retire and you want to kill yourself. You want to drive your Jaguar into a wall. You know, retirement's for the birds because, you know, you don't realize work is fun, you know, you're engaging with others and you're solving problems and you're doing stuff. When you're retired, what do you do? Sit around and watch TV?
Yeah.
Um, so, you know, so I didn't like retirement. So when the market crashed in 2000, I was essentially reborn. And I said, you picked on the wrong guy. I'm going to automate this market and prove it's just numbers going up and down. And this is where I know Attila mentioned that I was so eager to give it to the public. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking then. But I was thinking that we're all working together. Let's conquer the market together. Because I didn't know a lot about the market at the time either. And I was counting on the public to share what they knew. So I was automating everything the public asked for. I was giving them all these different screens in the software of things that they could do. And because I figured, well, you know, if they're making money in the market, let's automate what you're doing. And after years of doing that, I realized nobody knows how to make money in the market. They were all gambling. And, you know, so that's the reason I sold the old company off, the downloadable software. And when I rewrote the software, I got rid of those 10 screens. I call them 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. All that stuff that they were doing, I'm like, throw all that away. We need to be just chasing money, man. I don't need to be chasing indicators. Let's just chase money. Don't let that market breathe. Don't let it move 3% without giving me money. I'm the tax man now. That coin can't move. Now, of course, you can't put that on the internet. If you put it on the internet that you're the tax man, the government will probably step in and say he's not allowed to collect taxes, you know, so you got to watch the wording you use. But it's the same thing. It's like I don't let that coin move 3% without giving me money. L3 was a perfect example, a beautiful coin 3 weeks ago. It went up 50% in the morning. And then in the afternoon, it dropped 50%. So it started the day at one price and it ended the day at the same price, but they gave me all that free money because the auto trader sold off everything it had up here and then rebought it all back at the bottom. So it was like free money. Um, so that's why you won't see it anywhere else is people don't know how to make money in the market is the biggest thing. And so you can't automate something you don't know how to do. Otherwise, you're just going to create an automated trader that automatically loses. Okay? And a lot of the stuff that Go Baby Trade does is backwards. Attila says it, you know, and Edward says it too. You guys say, I turned the market upside down. I turned everything that other people do upside down. I violate all their rules. All the stuff that you're being taught in these classes is all wrong. It's wacko. It's like being taught by people who don't know how to make money in the market. It's like, are you really in the market? Because if you're doing what you're saying, then you got to be losing money left and right, you know? So it's like, so we took all that away, and I changed it to where we're just gonna win, period. And it's so easy, you know. And you hear me say it all the time. I call the market an insult to humanity. You know, and then another thing that people don't like me to say is I need to be stopped because it feels illegal, just taking all this free money out of the market. But I keep analyzing it, and it's like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just doing proper money management and proper risk management, and I'm buying stuff and selling it at a higher price, something that commerce has been doing for thousands of years. That's what you do. If you're running a 7-Eleven, you buy product, this smart water, they buy these bottles at one price and they sell them at a higher price. I'm doing the same thing. I'm not violating any laws. I'm just doing what you should do. Nobody says you can't buy a coin at one price and sell it at a higher price. The only difference is I'm doing it smartly, where we always reserve money. That's the biggest criticism I get. And some of you, when you sign up today, you're going to send email within a few days and you're going to say, I want my auto trader putting more money in up here. And you don't realize, see, you're not thinking of up here. You're just thinking you want more money in the market to make more money. Well, then find more money to put in because the software is going to reserve money so that when it goes down here, when it drops 50%, you're still in the game all the way down here. See, they can't stop us from taking money, and that's the secret. Keep taking money. As long as you keep taking money and saving it, that profit bucket's just going to fill up. I'm going to do a webinar on that pretty soon and talk about that. So that's that subject. Why won't you see it anywhere else? And what has happened to those who try? I made these notes. What has happened to those who try to replicate Go Baby Trade? Where did they go? Because I can think of at least 3 different companies, 3, probably 4 companies that tried to replicate what I'm doing over the years. And you know what? They went out of business. They lost everybody's money and went out of business. They just vaporized. And because again, I make it look so simple. Some of you may be on the screen who tried to do this. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry you went down that path. You should have talked to me. Um, because I share a lot. But that's what happened is they saw how simple it looks on the screen and they went and tried to do it. And then, I know one guy that lost $2 million of other people's money. I feel bad for them. He actually said, you don't need Ed's trader. You can just do this. Give me your money. Bad move. And he lost $2 million of their money. And I watched another company just recently completely go out of business just a couple months ago. Um, and they got a lot of investor money. I have no investor money, by the way. I don't have investor money. So they just lost everything. And so anyways, that's the reason you're not, they just went out of business. Doing what I'm doing takes a lot of infrastructure, lots of servers, racks of servers. Sometimes when I go into the co-location center, I feel like I'm AT&T. I look at all those servers, all those racks that are all Go Baby Trade servers. So all your auto traders run on my servers. However, they point to your each auto trader is an individual executable that talks to your Coinbase exchange or your Kraken exchange. And it only has the ability to send orders. Buy this, sell this. Even Coinbase and Kraken don't know what you're doing. They don't see any order ahead of time. They just see orders coming at them. So, and we never sell anything at a loss, period. We don't sell anything.
Hold on. Slow down and say that again.
We
And
never
I've
sell
said
anything at a
this.
loss.
Right. You have programmed this platform, unless it's manually manipulated, it is programmed to never sell at a loss. Those traders that have operated since the system existed that have not been manipulated, meaning you have changed the settings, and you'll hear us say, don't change the settings, just leave it at the default, because it's been optimized to make you as much money as the market will give you. But listen very
Right.
carefully.
And that's the key.
Right. It does not sell at a loss. That is and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that is a extraordinarily powerful statement. Where can you, one, find a trader that makes you money in your sleep? 2, never sells at a loss, ever.
Well, I mean, if you were trading silver, if you were buying a bunch of silver dollars and you have them in your drawer, when silver goes down, you're not going to go sell them at a loss, are you?
Nope.
You're going to hold them
Well,
until they go up.
the big money in the crypto and the stock market, the big money's chasing the little guys out, and they're selling at a loss. They're panicking.
Well, that's what the little guy does. They panic and get out. And over the last 5 months, since the crypto summit in the White House, when all of a sudden, Trump has his 25 multi-millionaire crypto holders, he pushed them out to the market and said, go out and change the rules to eliminate everything holding back the crypto market. Now they've been working night and day, these guys, and to remove the regulations holding back the crypto market. Right? They even signed a bill a few weeks ago that said banks can now store crypto, which is cool. Plus, banks cannot close your account because they know you're in crypto. That's another thing that actually was happening to a lot of people. If they knew
Oh,
you were
yeah.
transferring money to your crypto account, they were closing your bank account. You know, they're not allowed to do that anymore. So they really don't, you know, they're trying to, these 25 guys are making banks their friend by saying you can now store crypto. So they could use it in their reserves and whatever else they do with it. But they want the banks to be crypto friendly. And once that happens, everybody's going to start coming on board. In the meantime, they've been pushing the coins lower and lower, and we could see it. Now some of you are thinking, well, how can they do that? Well, believe me, they can do it. It's not the hardest thing in the world to push a coin down. It's a lot harder to push it up than it is to push it down. You can just sell your coins at a lower price and push the coin down. That's real easy, and especially if you have millions of dollars. So they're pushing the coins lower, and the public is. What happens when a coin goes lower? Stop and think about it. If you're holding some crypto, and the price of that coin goes down, that lowers your account value. Now that alone is enough to scare people out. They see their crypto account value going down, and they start panicking and selling at a loss. And their friends are also there to egg them on. Hey, get out. You're going to lose everything. Sell it all. You're being made a fool of. I mean, I could think of all the things their friends are telling them. I could think of all the same stuff that their friends told them 9 years ago when Bitcoin was really low and somebody was sitting on 10 or 20 Bitcoin. And their friends talked them out of holding it. And instead, they would have been a multimillionaire already. Instead, they went and sold it off at a loss. So you can't listen to people who really don't know what they're talking about. So anyways, when the coins go lower, your account value goes down. That's the way things work. Now, the auto trader is offsetting the drop in the coin price because the auto trader is taking profits and that profit bucket's filling up. And it's offsetting it's holding the account value up. However, if you drop a coin 50% in 1 month, then and the software can't take 50% in profits during that month, then the account value goes lower. Now, if the coin drops 3% in a month, well, let's just take a quick look. Can you mind if I share my screen?
Oh, sure, please do.
Yes.
I think it's easier to talk about this
Yeah,
if I can show you.
most people are visual, so I agree.
All right. So for starters, you've seen the bucket and the well. A coin doesn't, this is just a coin price going up and down, but when it goes lower, you're buying more and you're selling it as it goes higher, as it wiggles. Buy, sell, buy, sell. All your sales are just piling up. And then if the coin goes all the way back up, it sells all the inventory off that it had. So it just goes up and down, just buy, sell forever. It's not like water, where water can't stop halfway and go back up because the bucket will be empty. And if it was water, it has to go all the way to the bottom and get the water and go all the way back up and dump it out. Now that alone, nobody ever disputes how a bucket works, how a well works. No one disputes that. Everybody's perfectly fine. This is what amazes me. This is where my mental state comes in, How you can be perfectly fine with a bucket and a well, knowing the bucket has to go all the way to the bottom and get the water and go all the way back up. And if I ask how much water will it pump in a lifetime, people will say millions of gallons, a billion gallons, no problem. But when I talk about the crypto market, I say, well, in the crypto market, it doesn't have to go all the way down. It just goes down a little and goes up a little and gives you money. And as long as you keep the profits, watch that profit bucket fill up. It's just constant money for life. No matter where it goes, you're always following the price of the coin. All right, so let's just go to CoinMarketCap for a second and look at, I don't know what coin's on here. What do we have on here? All right, bonk. Perfect example. You see all these wiggles? This is all I call free money. You get crazy moves like in the middle here, you know, where you notice that sharp drop before it goes up. That's where it scares people out. That drop in the coin. And then it rockets to new highs or rockets to a high. And the software just buys. Actually, we buy more when it drops down really low like that and then bounces up here and we sell it. So if right now the price is over here, everything you owned below the current price is gone already. It's all sold off profitably. There's no losing trades in there. I mean, I've had people call me up when the coin's goes down like this and say, Ed, should I stop my auto trader from buying more because the market's going lower? I'm like, no, I wouldn't, because that's the biggest money you're going to make is what you bought at the bottom and then sell it at a nice high price. And you
Ed,
notice how sharp these gains are. They're immediate. They go straight up. That's the crypto market. That's the beauty of the crypto market. You don't see moves like this in the stock market. In the stock market, prices move around. In the crypto market, prices jump around. And that's gold to an auto trader. That's
Ed,
just stuff in the market.
can I make a point? Just leave your cursor right there. You talked about you mentioned we always talk about turning the market on its head. You made the comment that all of this is free money. Anybody that does not understand what platform you created looks at this and goes, "Oh my God, if you bought bonk, you got to be so far in the hole that you're never going to get out." But if you analyze what you said, all of the red moves up and down. When it moves down 3%, as you said at the beginning, it buys more. When it moves up 3%, it sells. Buys, sells, buys, sells. So even though the average person looks at this and said, how could anybody ever make money? You have changed that dynamic. And now you look at the snapshot. If you know how your software works and you go, wow, that's a lot of free money. Right?
Well, they can't stop it. That's the beauty is, again, like I said, even though it feels kind of criminalish, the way we're just taking free money out of the market. But I've listened for 25 years. I've listened to the public. I've presented all over the country. Some of you may have seen me talk, all over Texas, Houston, Dallas, Austin, Waco. I mean, I've been there, all over Florida, top to bottom. Miami, Sarasota, and then everything in between. Orlando, Tampa Bay, West Palm Beach, all over California, top to bottom. So I presented to live audiences everywhere, and 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 everybody's gambling out there. And I've heard all the negative stuff, and I feel sad for it. For the things people say, like, well, if that was real, there'd be no stock market. It was at the time it was stocks I was talking about. If it was that easy, everybody would already have it. If that was real, he wouldn't be sharing it with you. Why wouldn't I be sharing it with you? I need the infrastructure that those servers are doing to run my own auto traders. Why does it hurt to share it with everyone else? And I'm sharing it with a bunch of people who gave me all this feedback, helping me, showing me all the wrong stuff to do. There's value in that too. People don't always have to show you the right stuff to do. They can just show you the wrong stuff and you learn from that. You have to learn to get rid of the stuff that doesn't work. And unless I see it, I won't know. And that's what I talk about with AI. I've been doing AI since 1989, since my Microsoft days, and it was always in my auto traders all the way since I released them, the first auto trader in 2001. I always had AI in it. I never bragged about it because it's just pattern recognition. It's not rocket science. And, but everybody nowadays is acting like AI is the holy grail. I'm like, AI is a bell and a whistle, man. AI can't tell you what a coin is going to do tomorrow. You got to know how to handle that loser. And that's where the power of the auto trader is. It knows how to handle losers. It knows how to say, I can buy a coin up here, and when it goes down here, I can buy more and hold that loser that I'm sitting on up here. Now, that's what scares people when they're sitting on positions that are down. They don't realize that all these profits, all this up and down action, all that profit, it's like throwing marbles in a jar and watch that jar fill up. And because of all these profits cannot be denied. They're real. When you take profit on a trade, that's real money. And if you don't spend it, because the auto trader's job is to make money, and it's your job to figure out how you want to spend it. Now, some people say, I don't want to save profits. I want the auto trader to just use it. Okay, well, then you're throwing a lot of your money in at higher prices. And when the price drops down here, you don't have those saved profits because you used them up here. Whereas if you save 100% of your profits, the profits are just building up and you're using your initial principal to trade up here. So that when you get down here, when the price does drop 60 or 70%, you got a big bucket of profits, saved money that you can release to the market near the bottom. And this is where the rich get richer. You know, the Trump family trust is sitting on $7 billion worth of crypto. And you know what? They didn't buy it all profitably. A lot of what they bought was bought up here, and now the price is down here. And they're holding on because they know when we've been in a 4-year downtrend in the crypto market. Watch when that trend turns up. Watch when it does that and it starts going up. All that inventory you've been buying that you bought here at these higher prices, you're just going to sell it all off as it goes higher. Plus, you're going to be buying more and selling that off too while it's going higher because the auto trader adds to losers and it adds to winners. So it actually adds while the prices are going higher. It actually gets more aggressive in a bull market. It's more conservative in a bear market. The software automatically knows when to speed down and when to speed up. So, I
Awesome.
mean, this is 25 years of I live and breathe the market. So
Ed,
let's,
are you ready to? Yeah, you read my mind. I was just going to ask you to
I
share
know
your
you want to
trade.
jump in and look at our trader, you
Yeah,
know. I hope we have a good Q&A. Throw your negative stuff out there. People seem to be afraid to throw the negative stuff out. I want to hear it. Throw it out there. You know, that's when we do a Q&A. I mean, I love a good Q&A, you know, where you throw everything out, put it all on the table. Let's talk about it because I'm open to I'm not afraid of anything. I've heard it all already. Every negative thing you can think of. And you know who's saying all the negative stuff? People who don't own an auto trader. Because if you own an auto trader, then you already know it works. And you already know you're just going to grind money out for the rest of your life, free money. So Attila likes me to start in this area over here. So it
right.
shows live trading. I got videos, view videos. I have videos on every page to show you what's going on. It shows you your account value. Today's profits taken, nothing. I haven't taken anything. Actually, the last time this closed a position was on 9/8, which is the day before yesterday. Okay, no problem. I haven't even looked at this thing since last week, since the last webinar, and I've taken a whole bunch of profits along the way. And the profits add up. I remember one time, Attila, we were debating. You were saying, look at all the money you took in the last few years. And
Yeah,
I said, well, I didn't take that $349. You're like, yes, you did. And I said, no, I didn't. You're like, it shows it right there. You did. And I said, no, I didn't take that. I took this $73, $69, $74. I even saw one that was $1.15. The auto trader is designed to take whatever the market wants to give you. It's not your job to dictate to the market. Do you really think the market cares what you think? It doesn't care what you think. You don't even exist, man. You are nothing to the market. The market's going to do what it wants. And all I'm doing is saying, "Hey, market, do what you want, and I'm going to punish you if you go lower because I'm going to take advantage and buy more at a lower price." I used to say that about Microsoft when I was standing in front of those live audiences. I used to say, "Do you think they're going to run Microsoft out of business just to steal a few $1,000s from me if I buy more at a lower price?" And that was when Microsoft was like $30 a share. Now it's at like close to 500, if not more. I don't even know. I don't look at it. But I mean, you know, I'm like, they're not going to run Microsoft out of business to steal a few $1,000s from me. And then I used to also, another thing I used to say is about Bank of America. I think it was around, oh God, 2012 or 15 or somewhere in there. I used to put Bank of America on the screen and it was $10 a share. And I would say to the audience, does anybody in this audience think Bank of America is going to go out of business anytime soon? And they're like, no. I'm like, then trade the heck out of it. It's free money. It's just numbers doing this. I mean, it's a joke. I call the market, I already said it before, it's an insult to humanity. Now, the fact that everybody's not taking advantage of it, that's our advantage. And stop and think about this. Say you want to buy a loaf of bread. You want to buy it because you want to buy it to your benefit if you're into carbs. So you go to the store, you buy a loaf of bread. You're benefiting by them selling you that bread. They're benefiting because they bought the bread at a lower price and they're selling it at a higher price. You're both winning. People, because that's another argument people throw out there is, well, if everybody did this, the market would be out of business. There'd be no market. I'm like, why? You're not hurting anybody by buying and selling a coin. Just now, if everybody ran a Go Baby Trade Auto Trader and only did what we do, what Go Baby Trade does, the price goes a little higher, you're selling it, and you're taking profits. It's time for you to sell it. You didn't get hurt, you sold it at a profit. Now someone else is buying it. Might be a new client coming in and buying it right away at the current price. Might be someone else that bought it at a higher price and the price went lower. In any case, they're buying it because they're going to benefit by buying it. You're both winners. You're not you don't have to be. There doesn't have to be a winner and a loser. Here's the reason that people think that, and they're right. The whales, the wealthy, take Trump's family trust. All right. For a disclaimer, I just want to say, Trump, I don't know anything about your family trust. I only read that on the internet that you have $7 billion in it. Okay. So don't sue me. All right. Let me just throw that disclaimer out there. So he's sitting on all that. What was I going to say? And when it goes higher, he's going to sell it at a higher price. He's not hurting anybody. So when he bought it, was he hurting anyone when he bought it? The prices are going down. They're pushing these coins down. They're giving us every opportunity to buy. They're not doing something we can't do. They don't have some secret or anything, a secret buying place. Some people feel like there's the dark web and all this kind of stuff. People overthink stuff. People are overthinking all of this. I mean, I went and bought some Shiba Inu years ago, and before I automated the crypto market, and I had to open up an account at Binance. Then I had to open up a trade wallet, and then I had to open up an account at Pancake Swap, and I had to buy the pancakes through. I had to buy the sheep through Pancake Swap into the using the trade wallet, using Binance money, BNB. And, by the time I got done jumping through all those hoops and making mistakes and fixing them and all and transferring money around and doing all that stuff, I think I ended up paying like double for the coin. It was just crazy, man. And they made it so hard. And I make it so easy. You just open up a Coinbase account, put your money in there, point your Go Baby Trade Auto Trader using the API, and we help you do that. Attila will help too. We all do. We all help you.
Very
And
easy.
you connect it to your Coinbase account, and then the software takes off. Then you're done. 100%
Hey, Ed,
automation.
do me a favor, Ed. While you're on the subject, go to your main website link, Go Baby Trade, so we could show people a few things that are available to them before they actually click to buy the trader. You could do a lot of due diligence and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of DYOR. I put out 2 videos on how to connect the API. That's under videos right there. So
Right.
this is available to you or to anybody before you even decide to pull the trigger on the license. So
Yep. And gents, I'm going to since we all love crypto, Casey, she's negotiated a discount
yep.
through with Mr. Barsano. I've just posted the link in there. If you click on that link, it takes you to the same page. If you go if you go directly to Go Baby Trade, you can buy it, but you're going to pay $1,000 more for the 3-year license.
It
So,
lowers the price by $1,000 if you use
right.
Crypto Casey's personal link
Yep.
that I gave her.
And I'll post it several more times, but sorry for the interruption. Continue.
No, that's okay. You have the highest trade count report. You can see what other people did over the last year. Now that's another thing. Let's talk about this highest trade count. The top traders report. I mean, here's someone that started with $3,000 and took 15,000 in profits off the table. Physical profits. I mean, that's the beauty about the auto trader. The money it makes every day and it adds up every month. That's your money. You could do whatever you want with it. You could get a Coinbase Visa card like I have, and I use it everywhere I go. It's like free money. Because my auto trader makes more money every month than I could spend, unless I'm going to run out and buy a new car. I did that last November. I went and bought a new car for free. It was like a free car using my Visa card. It's like, thanks for the free money. I mean, you lose all value of money when you have something like this. And that's the amazing thing, you know, because we have a lot of older folks, me and, you know, if you want to call me older too. I always tell a lot of people, man, we would have been in high school partying together. Don't play that old age card with me. You know, and some people go, well, I'm this old, you know, I'm this old. And I'm like, yeah, you're still young, believe me. And in any case, if we had this, if I would have had this when I was 23 years old, you'd be so rich beyond belief. You know what I mean? So when I
No
watch
kidding.
younger people, and I feel bad for them because I talk crypto everywhere I go. And I notice something that after we get done talking for a while, if they don't ask what is the website, I don't mention Go Baby Trade. And then I walk away and I feel like, wow, I really feel bad for them that they were so mentally out of it, disengaged, that they're not even going to take advantage of this. I always feel really bad. Like even I'm not a salesman, right? Everybody knows I'm not a salesman. I'm just a programmer. But even everyone on this webinar right now, if every person on this webinar doesn't sign up, you have my condolences. And I'll see you in a year, you know, and a year from now you'll say, wow, I should have signed up a year ago. You know,
Yeah, you're right.
all the time. I hear it all the time. People sign up and they say, "Yeah, I saw you talk last January. I wish I would have signed up then." You know, and they put it off. And they don't realize that the auto trader, let's go back here to CoinMarketCap. The auto trader is building inventory while things are going lower. You want a good crash. When you're running an auto trader, you live for down days, actually, because you know already you're going to get 1 or 2 up days in a row, and you're going to sell a bunch of inventory off. Like here on, you know, you can just see the way it works here on 8:30. It had all these closes, you know, and then you have days like 8:24 and 25. It was just buying. It was just buying. You were just if you're running a 7-Eleven. And this runs just like a 7-Eleven, by the way. You put product on the shelf. Maybe at night you filled up the shelves, and then the next day you sell it all off. And that's the way it works. It's just a constant buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, no matter where it goes. I mean, you can see here on, what is that, 418, 419. I mean, it's just all this selling. You're just constantly selling, buying and selling and buying and selling. You don't want things to go straight up. That's for buying holders. That's for people that are just buying coins and then hoping it goes higher. We're not into that. We're into turning inventory. Now, of course, with the AI, we hold on to positions that are going higher, but we can't wait forever. If it's going higher and it stops going higher, then we got to just take the profit at some point. You can't
Yeah,
just let it go down.
can I ask you to do something I don't think we've ever asked you to do? Can you go to your menu? Go to your profits taken reports. Okay. Can you go back to January? Yes, you can. Okay. Go back to January. Was it
27th,
27th,
27th.
27th, 28th? So don't pause for a minute. Don't you clicked on it. Okay. So
Sorry.
that's all right. I was just gonna say as you
Well,
can
look at that one day.
right
Today's profits taken $6,500.
as you showed your trader, you said, look, it's not sold anything today. It's not taking a profit today. But guess what? This is what happens when the market violently moves, and it does this all the time.
All the time.
Most of the time, it does it in the middle of the night while you're sleeping, right? But another point about this is that when you own the trader, you can do exactly what I just asked Mr. Barsano to do. Is you can click on the menu, go to your profits taken reports, and it shows you every day what it made. It not only does that, but it sends you an email that tells you what you made, right? Look on the 28th. One day
On the
later,
28th, it only
84
took
bucks.
$84. But let's go to the 29th.
But let's go to the 29th.
It took another 2,300.
Yeah.
It's just free money, it's just numbers. It's numbers going up and down. Quit
Yep.
thinking it's more than that, really.
Scroll down on that report. So it literally shows you every single trade, what it did, when it happened, open trades, closed trades, the whole works.
You know what I get a kick out of? While it was busy taking all this profit up here on ACH, it was buying more on the same day. This is beautiful. We got the market trapped. Even while it was going up, it was pulling back a little, and we said, all right, I'll buy more at the lower price. And then it
Brilliant.
continued on its way up again. Then it pulled back again, and then it continued on its way up. So we were busy selling off the old inventory that we bought on the way down, but then we were starting to sell off inventory that we bought while it was going higher.
You sold the potato chips before they got spoiled, and then you bought a new batch of potato chips.
Right. Well, it's what I say, and I use examples like that, like a 7-Eleven. A 7-Eleven, there's a lot to learn in a 7-Eleven. You can learn a lot from how they do business. They put product on the shelf, and then people come in and buy it. Whoa, does that sound complicated to you? I mean, that's how
No.
commerce works. But they got to have product on the shelf. You can't have empty shelves. If you don't have product, if you only have one bag of potato chips on the shelf and a school bus full of kids pulls in, you're only going to sell one bag of potato chips. You want to have a lot of chips. You want to have a lot of the products that move the most. And that's where this highest trade count report comes in. This is as Edward calls it, the $1 billion report. This report shows the coins that moved the most over the last year on 3% moves. They were shows at 3% moves. And here's the monthly average. So, I mean, do you want to put iodine on your shelf? Well, that's at the bottom of the report. 17 trades in a year. One trade
That's a
in a
good one.
month. These are junk. I call this junk coins, they're not good for trading. They don't move enough. If I was running a 7-Eleven, I want to put monster drinks and potato chips and candy bars and things like that. I want to put, and that would be at the top of the report. So it's the same thing. I mean, I didn't reinvent the wheel or anything here. All I did is use proper money management so that it doesn't put all your money in at once. The biggest mistake most people make, and you may be one of them, is every month you're throwing more money into these coins. Some people are sitting on 100 different coins in their Coinbase account. And they just keep plowing more money in, and all the money they put in was all put in up here at the top. And now the prices have dropped 80%. The prices are down here. You're missing thousands of trades up and down, up and down, up and down. You're not making any money. You're watching, oh, it's an up day. Oh, it's a down day. It's an up day. It's a down day. Well, you're not making any money. That's like you're buying silver dollars and throwing them in a drawer when you could be trading SLV in the stock market on 2% moves. I have a lot of people that open up a TradeStation account and buy a Go Baby Trade Auto Trader for the stock market and only trade SLV, one symbol, one stock. SLV on 2% moves up and down. They get trades multiple times a week. And
Why
it's just
2%, Ed? I'm just
free money.
curious. Why 2%?
It seems to be the sweet spot over the
Okay.
last since about 2000 and God, I always go back to when did we start trading SLV? You know, when did we figure that out? You know, 2007 or something like that. You know, we just started, you know, we learned as we went along. We learned and we got smarter and smarter. And that's what's nice about an auto trader, about programming. It never forgets a rule. So every time we see trickery in the market, we see what the market's pulling on us. We say, oh, I'll add a rule to prevent that. And the beauty is the software never forgets the rule. So they can never do it again. It's beautiful, man. We got the market by the you know what's.
And I've got a trivia question for you.
Sure.
Okay, so you talk about owning a 7-Eleven and equating it to owning a trader, right? You're in the 7-Eleven, you're buying chips and selling chips, right? You're collecting inventory, selling it, buying at one price and selling it at a higher price. What happens if you don't own a 7-Eleven or a trader? How much money are you going to make?
Well, nothing. You're done. What are you gonna do? Put your money in a bank? And I mean, you know, I have a, you know, the bank, you're giving them your money for nothing, and then they create these crazy credit cards. I don't know if you could see it, 31% interest. It's like people get these credit cards and actually use them. It's like, and pay 31% interest. So the bank's making 31% interest on your money, and you're giving your money to the bank for nothing. It's like, wow, that's like crazy. I mean, if you want to talk about the most insane thing in the world, there's a lot of insanity out there, man. If people are doing that, you know, and they're just taking
Programming,
advantage of us. And I just said, you know, you picked on the wrong person in 2000. When that market crashed, I said, you picked on the wrong person. And as Attila said, I said, I don't know who you is, but
but I'm going to hurt you.
I'm going to release auto traders to the public and let everybody just take all this free money because the market is nothing but free money. It's a joke. You know, you can quote me on that. It's an insult to humanity, the whole market. And the fact that it's out there. Think of the talking heads. You ever sit there and listen to them go back and forth talking on like channel 35? I think that's the channel.
Yep.
CNBC where they all these guys with their suits. I saw a guy with the gray shirt, the gray jacket and a white shirt yesterday. So I told my wife, I'm gonna wear that tomorrow. You know, so I can talk like those, like those, talking heads. And and the stuff they were saying was blowing my mind. I'm like, it's all garbage. I mean, what are they saying? Well, if this company does this and that, and it's like, shut up. Will you shut up? It's free money. It's numbers going up and down. 7-Elevens have been doing it for 100 years or however long they've been in business. You put product on a shelf and you sell it at a higher price. Give me a break. And if
Yep.
you were going to open up a 7-Eleven, let's think about what you would do. You'd probably sit down with someone who has done it, probably the distributor who you're going to buy your product from. What products are you going to sell in your 7-Eleven? You have so many shelves you got to fill up. He's probably going to bring up a report similar to this. And it's going to say monster drinks, potato chips, candy bars, right? It's going to have all those kind of things. Next time you go to a 7-Eleven or a Quick Mart or any of those stores, do what I do. When I walk in, I look at the cash register and I look at the people just checking out. And I look at what did they buy? It's all fast moving stuff. Hot dogs and stuff. It's all fast moving products. Now, how did that store know to sell those? They had to sit down with a report similar to this and said, what are the fastest moving items? What are you going to sell the most of? I went to the store a few months ago. I was looking for Band-Aids. I walked around that 7-Eleven. I checked every aisle. I looked on every shelf. I could not find those Band-Aids. So I walked up to the counter, to the guy behind the counter, and I said, excuse me, "Do you sell Band-Aids here?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Look at the right at the end of that aisle, right there, right at the end, at the top. Look at that." And son of a gun, if there wasn't a box of Band-Aids. I mean, there you go. You can't even they sell it. They don't really even want to sell it because they're not selling any of these things, But he had some. I'm just saying, it's not his fastest moving item. I'll tell you that. So in any case, this is just all common sense stuff. When you get your auto trader, it's the top coins are already right there. You could go right to this report and grab these 5 right off the top. And I did. I created an account 3 weeks ago or a month ago, something like that. Another account, one of my accounts, I threw 150,000 in it, and I grabbed these 5 coins right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right off the top of this report. I mean, it was, and I said, just trade the heck out of those. And it's just been trading the heck out of them. It's free money. What are you going to do? It's just free money, and that's all the market is free money. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. People, let me tell you what people do. The public, people who own an auto trader, they're going crazy trying to find money to put in their auto traders. I even put a video out there that said, don't mortgage your house. Because some people were mortgaging their houses. That sounds crazy, right? But but they're right in that sense. Because it's like you can mortgage your house at 8% and get 100% a year running an auto trader. It's a no-brainer, So my only fear, the reason, I'm going to tell you why I created the video. I'm going to be square with you. Is because I'm afraid you're going to mortgage that house and take 70,000 out and go buy a car. So it's not my concern about the stock market or the crypto market. It's my concern about you, the person. I'm afraid you're just going to mortgage that house and create a big fat debt for yourself.
Have we transitioned into the therapy?
I know. All right, we won't talk therapy. I do have some good ones. I've been married 44 years. Just do what she wants. You want her to be happy, And I'm in paradise. I'll be honest, I'm in paradise. I mean, I've got a money machine. I've got literal money machines that just crank out money, and and I got a wonderful life.
Well, great kids, beautiful wife. You created something that blesses everybody. How could you not have a good life?
Yeah. So let's go to another screen here on the select currencies screen. And this is where you can put in your symbols. And up here at the top, it's got, like, if you're trading at Coinbase, you can say sort by the symbol name and click expand. It'll actually show you all the coins that Coinbase lets you trade. And there they are, about 350 of them. But, you don't really have to go there very much. That's just a little informational. You're actually, where you're going is where you want to go down here. And this is where you're entering your symbols. If you're going to add symbols after, when you first sign up, it's just going to give you one window and say enter 5 symbols. Enter some symbols. And it's got the default symbols already in there. The same one Edward's trading, the same coins. But you can just go to the highest trade count report and pick the top 5 off there if you want. And it says you put in the coin, add to price declines, add as price declines, that's this checkbox, add as price advances, so we add to losers or decliners, and we add to winners while it's going higher. We don't let the price run away from us, we stay with the current price.
Always in the game.
It goes. And allow sells, allow it to sell and take profits. And so you can click spread funds equally. And it divides up the money fairly equally here. And then it's really straightforward. It's so simple. Like I said, I got rid of 10 screens of things that, that you would blow yourself up with, that you don't even need. And it's got enable AI, max lots in a day. It'll slow down. If things are going down and you're buying and buying more as it's going lower in one day and you buy it multiple times, it's going to stop after 2 buys. What's cool about that is a coin can, say you're adding on 3% drops, which is what it shows down here. Profit, or that's the profit goal. A little further down here is add shares on price moves 3%. 3% up or 3% down. So if it goes down 3% and then it goes down another 3 and you buy and then it goes down another 3% on the same day, it'll buy, that's a second buy and it'll stop there. The coin might want to drop 18% more. Well, let it. You don't have to buy down there. Wait until tomorrow morning and it'll be a new day and then it can buy 18% lower. So it slows down the buying, if it's just crashing. Okay, and it's got pauses in there between buys. If I buy it on a 3% drop and it drops another 3% 5 seconds later, I don't want to buy again because basically, it's crashing. Let it wait an hour. It might drop 10% more during that hour. And again, these things were added just for cryptos. The stock market didn't need them because the stock market doesn't move as much as cryptos. Take this amount if reached. It says if I see $500, if you see $500 of profit because something gapped up, just take it. Don't even wait for the rules or anything. Don't wait for AI. AI might say, "Oh, look, I think it's going to go higher." It's like, "No. Just grab that money." And if you go back to this chart here, you can see these crazy jumps where it jumps up like that and then it pulls back. Be careful. You get a crazy gap up like that, just take the money. And the software is automatically programmed to do that. You don't have to worry about it.
Hey,
Yeah.
you feel like taking that suit coat off?
Are we going into the Q&A? I love a good Q&A.
Yeah, man, we're ready. We're ready to rock and roll. I know you've been thinking about this for the last 10 days.
I know. 2 weeks. I like to take off my jacket because this is when we get excited, I want to hear some nasty questions. I want to hear the bad stuff. I want to hear your fears. I want to hear the stuff that keeps you up at night. I want to
We
hear
got
when you reach your hand under the bed at night and you're scared. Just put
well,
your hand under that bed. Don't be afraid.
we got some fear. We got some fear out there already. So let's start with the fear and get that one out of the way. There's been some talk on the chat. Alan came up with a thought about when the market goes up and it's a bull market, and then all of a sudden it changes sometime next year and it goes down. Now he's saying crashes. I don't see a crash. It could happen, but I just
Well, I
think
don't
it's
care if it does that. It already did that for the last 4 years. We've
yeah.
been in a
So
down market. These coins have dropped 90%.
I know, but what he's saying is what he wants to do is he wants to halt his trader during that crash. Why would you not
No.
want to do that?
All right, let me explain why.
Okay.
Because here's what's going to happen.
Yep.
You're in up here. First off, the number one thing, the real reason is you don't know it's going to crash 90%. If you knew that, you'd be richer than Warren Buffett.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Because
asked
then
him for a
if I
guarantee.
know it's going to drop 90% in a week, then I won't buy any more up here. I will wait for it to drop. The thing is, it's not going to do that. The odds of it doing that are very slim. It's going to sit up here and do this. And the other real reason is if you're all in up here and you let a coin drop 90% or anything, even 10% without you buying, or 20%, you create a vacuum. I call it no man's land, where you don't, this range here where you don't own the coin. And that means the coin can be going up and down and you're not making any money. You always want to be wherever the price is. That's why we don't need to put all of our money in. We don't, and I hear it all the time, people see a couple good days and they made some money. I can look at this here, $73 I made, right, on this trade here, down here. And I could say, well, if I put all my money in, I might make, $773. The problem is, I don't know where the software has to reserve money for when things go the wrong way. So you can't just throw all your money in up here. And you don't want to leave gaps down here. You want to follow the money wherever the price goes. I have a video. Let's see if it comes up. Car tow booth. This is showing where in a tow booth, we chase the car down the road. So he pays his toll.
So wait a minute, we're not seeing it, Ed.
Oh no, you're missing
You
it.
you might have to unshare and then reshare.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
We don't want to miss this.
Well, you know, you never get what you wanted when you create an animation, you know, because I'm not an animator. But you know, they gave me the gist. The gist of it is, let me explain first, is the toll booth industry in this country is a multi-billion-dollar business. And you can Google that. Everything I'm saying you can Google. Everything I say comes off the internet. They park their tow booths and they wait for the cars to come to it. And that's all they do. They just keep parking their tow booths and they wait for the cars to come to it. If it was Go Baby Trade, if we were running those tow booths, we chase the car down the highway and get in front of it. And then after it pays the toll and it starts going again, we chase it down again and get in front of it again. So it's the same thing with the prices. We don't let the price get away from us. If they try to go higher, we'll buy more at a higher price and make them pay again. And if it goes lower, we'll buy more down there, and then we force them to have to pay again every time they try to go forward. So I thought an animation would be cool, but it's really hard to get an animator to do exactly what you want. Can you see it now?
We can see it now.
Yep.
So he pays the toll. And then we put another toll booth in front of him. Of course, if you live in Florida, you're used to this anyways, right? You know, and, you know, the car tries to get away. So you're constantly paying tolls. You're constantly, the same car, we're chasing it down the highway. And I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Wherever the car goes, we're following it with the tow booths. I mean, they gotta hate our guts, right? If you were driving a car and you had to keep paying tolls like that, I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit. If he tries to even go backwards, we get in front of him and buy and make him and keep putting a toll booth there. And I mean, we literally gets off the highway and tries to go home. It's like I won't even let him go in his garage without paying me. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's cute.
That was the gist of it, you know.
Okay. Well, listen, we got a lot of questions waiting. So, Edward,
Cool.
did you want to go into the questions, or did you want to make an announcement first?
Let's make an announcement. So I have a question for everybody in the chat. Do it quickly because I don't want to keep you longer than necessary. We got to get to the Q&A. We always have great questions, but so you've been kind of teased over the last few months about us, you know, people asking about a community and, you know, where can we share our ideas? All of these, all of you that have made the decision, great decision. And your positive, your feedback has been extraordinarily positive. If you would like to have a community place where everybody can share their ideas 24/7, 365, put yes in the chat. Okay, cool. I'm seeing some yeses. I don't see any no's, thank goodness. All right, cool.
Well, you didn't say to put no's.
Well, I don't know. If you want to see it, great. If not, I mean, we're always like, you know, I got to hand it to Mr. Barsano because his team behind the scenes never sleeps. There's always something being added to the trader of value for you. The $1 billion report, the analysis, the ability to do your research before you buy the trader, the Q&A. The Q&A, I got to say the Q&A because it has something to do with what I'm going to announce.
The frequently asked
Right.
questions, it's really cool.
Right. Frequently asked. So I'm sorry, I said Q&A, FAQs, frequently asked questions. So this automation is very, very new. So we're working in collaboration. Now, let me preface this by saying that what I'm about to announce has nothing to do with GoBabyTrade or Active Trading Technologies, the company. This is a support mechanism and a community based on financial intelligence for you, right? Financial intelligence, and you really don't know what that is. We don't spend a lot of time because you're focused on what this brings to this value, the trader brings to the value of your life and going forward. But we're in the background, we're always expanding the resources and the ability to financial intelligence for you is all the things that they don't want you to know about your money, right? The core product and the core platform is the trader, but outside of that, there's going to be lots and lots of value added, starting with everybody that said yes. We've been kind of teasing it. There is now a community. So give me just a second. I am going to post an invite, and right now it's all wide open, right? So it's not going to be restricted. The within that community is a GoBabyTrade group. So if you would like to join it, again, this has nothing to do with GoBabyTrade, the product, or the company behind it. This is a support mechanism that financial intelligence is providing for you. So I say this for the last time. Do not ask anything of GoBabyTrade and its company, parent company, about anything that is in here. This is a community for people to communicate.
Should I stop sharing? Am I not seeing something?
No. I'm going to share in a minute. You can stop sharing if you want in just a second. But what we're doing is providing this for your benefit and the benefit of everybody in this community as it grows. And once you should you choose to want to join the community, you'll see there are a bunch of groups in there. We're going to be adding to it. So, but it's not a support mechanism that is supported by GoBabyTrade. It is a support mechanism that's supported by our platform, Financial Intelligence for You. So with that,
GoBabyTrade can jump in and answer questions, though, right?
Of course. I'm just saying there's an arm's length between anything that happens in that community and anybody outside of financial intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Whatever is shared in there, and you'll see some notes that say, be kind, be reasonable, be professional, right? But this is a community of people, smart people that have made the smart decision to enhance their financial life. We've been teasing about it. Everybody's been asking about it. It's now here. What I'm going to ask you to do as being part of the community and part of the family is you're welcome to put in, there's a general discussion group. And let me may I bump you off for a second, Ed?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Yep. Okay. So there we go. All right. Bear with me just a second. Let me find, I had the community up a second ago, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. There you go. All right. So this is simply what you're going to see when you enter into the domain. This is financial intelligence for you. I'll say it again. It has nothing to do with GoBabyTrade and its parent company. Of course, they are allowed to participate in this, right? So you've got a general discussion group. So if you have questions that are lingering, do me a favor first, and I'm going to put the link in here with Mr. Barsano's approval, is the ability to link back to the frequently asked questions that are on the GoBabyTrade site that we posted, right? And I'll post that link again with the discount. So that way there is no confusion. If you have questions about GoBabyTrade, then you're going to go right to the source and the aggregation of information and the thousands of questions that have been posted. So that's going to be in here. But if you have general discussions about what financial intelligence is, then put that in the general discussions. You'll see that there's a VIP section. We are going to, as we expand, this is outside the realm of what we're talking about today, but as we add services, there are going to be memberships and newsletters and things like that to add and enhance who you are, what you do, and how you provide for your family. That's far enough down that rabbit hole. That link that I sent sends you into, it automatically approves you. If there's any misbehavior, if there's any disrespect, it's not going to be tolerated. You will be booted off the platform and banned from it, period. So I hope that everybody uses it for what it's intended to be. If you have any questions, if you have suggestions, just like Mr. Barsano talked about, he built this. His success in building this platform was because he had quality feedback from everybody that participated in that universe. We're not looking to recreate the wheel. We're looking to enhance what this brilliant gentleman and his team has created and continues to create. Because let me ask you this question: if his platform is showing you how to make money in your sleep, wouldn't you want to know tax strategies, how to set up trusts, how to understand how you can continue, as Mr. Hevesy says, go forth and multiply your money, have your crypto make more crypto? All of those resources are going to be available to you. We are in the infancy of the crypto financial market, as I say, in the dinosaur age. You have an opportunity to participate in the most powerful tool on the planet that automates part or as much as your financial life as possible. All financial intelligence is doing in the background is enhancing that universe. If you find it of value, great. If you don't, change the channel. If you want to add to the value and help your fellow human beings continue to conquer the market and their financial future, then please do add that into the community that you were just allowed access to. That's my speech.
Thank you. Well said.
Well, and Mr. Barsano, thank you for putting us in a position to enhance people's lives endlessly. As you come up with new strategies, as you have already conquered the market, all you're doing is sharpen the blade. So iron sharpening iron is a great thing.
For sure.
Right.
All right.
For sure. Well, we got to get started here with these questions.
Yep, here we go. Okay, so let me attack the first question by Pam. I have my Bitcoin and Ethereum in spot ETF because I can hold it in my Roth. Oh, I see. Okay. Without having the risk and the cost of an LLC and custodian. Anyway, I can open an account as a Roth in either exchange and have your trader build the tax-free profits. Yeah, you could, to the best of my knowledge, you could trade with the trader inside of a Roth. Right, Ed? Have you had people do that?
Yeah, well, you know what? A lot of people, that is a new one that people have been asking for a long time, and people have been sharing with me. Rocket Dollar. I think it's called Rocket Dollar. Uses Kraken and for their Roth IRAs.
I just don't think a Roth, I don't think they'll do a personal Roth. I think they'll do a business Roth. So you got to ask the exchange. That's more of a function of asking the exchange, Pam. But the API will connect to either.
Oh, yeah. Anyone, if you can open an account at Coinbase or Kraken, whatever kind of account, we can connect to it.
Okay. The next follow-up question that Pam has is something I wanted to answer part of, and then Ed, maybe you could chime in. I understand the trader loves volatility, even big crashes. So my current question is, what is the way one would have more significant losses than gains? With the governments bringing stability, will there be less volatility that works against profits? The whales won't have the ability to manipulate because they will be minnows and the big funds want stability. What are your thoughts on that, Ed?
All right. My first thought is my first water bottle is gone. Now I'm moving on to my second water bottle. All right. Remember something mathematically, and this is a real important thing. A coin can only drop mathematically 100%. That's it. It's the bucket in the well. It can only go to zero once, and that means the coin is now out of business. However, it can take thousands of a percent. It could take 10,000% profits. As long as that coin stays in business, you're going to keep taking profits forever. So there's going to be slower periods where they push of profits, where they push the coin down really hard, and then your inventory went down in value. Okay? But and then you're still taking profits, and it's adding up. It's just not going to add. You're not going to make up. If a coin drops 50% in one day, and you're taking 3% a day, say, or even 1% a day, 1% a day is 365% a year. So even 1% a day is a lot, okay? But they can push a coin down 50%. And then, so you're going to keep whittling away at the profits. And as long as you're saving your profits, that bucket's going to fill up forever, literally forever. I don't try to dictate to the market. I don't even try to guess. I don't believe in seasons, and I know right now everybody's saying, well, you know, based on the season of the crypto season is getting ready to go bullish, right? Some people are saying sometime in later September, in the next couple of weeks. Some people are saying starting October 1st, which is the fourth quarter, I've heard. I don't listen to any of it. I don't care what, I mean, it doesn't matter what I think. Because all I care about is the auto trader is going to keep grinding out money. And if we get the bull market that everyone says we're going to get, fantastic. We're going to get rich. Like I said, we watched the market go down 90% in the last 4 years. When that trend turns up, we got all that inventory we bought on the way down. If you look over here, you can see the inventory. I've got 18 lots. Picture, what is 18 times 3?
Yeeks.
Well,
50
60 minus 6 is 54.
54.
So
56, I
54.
thought.
So that's a 54% drop from when I first started buying it. Okay? This one here, 32 times 3, because I'm adding on 3% drop. So if I have 32 of those, that's a 96% drop from the time I started buying it. That's huge. That's a big drop. And I haven't sold anything at a loss. It's like, there's no way you're going to scare me out. I don't care because I'm sitting on all that inventory. And that means when this market turns up, I'm going to make a fortune. Just like Warren, just like Trump's going to make his 7 billion turn into 70 billion. You watch. So nobody can scare me out because even though it's down like that, I'm still taking profits. If I go down here and if I search for GRT, let's see, Control F. Is it not letting me do it? Control F? Control F. Oh, it's hidden under this. Hold on one second. Hide floating thingy here. All right. Let's search for GRT. Okay. So there's a buy on 814 is my last buy on GRT. That's the last time it dropped, but it hasn't gone up. On 813, it took some profits, but there you go. You know, it's going to keep. I'm still trading it and taking profits, taking all this free money. I mean, I've taken, if I look up here, you can see I've taken almost $62,000 of profits. But the inventory that I'm sitting on up here, that open inventory that's underwater, is down 90,000. So I'm a net down 28,000. That all happened in the last couple of months. A couple of months ago, this thing was net profitable. These coins, GRT and SHIB, these two coins have been just crashing in the last couple of months. Just crashing, going straight down. You know, even though I've been still wiggling and still taking profits, look at these profits on Shiba Inu. I've taken almost 55,000 in profits, but the coin is down almost 50,000 in open inventory. So I'm still net positive 5,000. If I was a buy and holder, I'd be down that whole 49,000. Instead, I'm actually up because of the profits that are taken. And watch when the market turns up. It's just going to be a beautiful sight to see. So I'm not worried about what the market does or where it goes, because remember what I said, a coin can only drop 100%. It's just like the bucket in the well. The bucket can only go to zero once, but I can keep taking profits forever. It's just like a 7-Eleven. They spend $700,000 to buy a 7-Eleven. Now you own your 7-Eleven. How much are you making every day? 5 grand a day? Okay. So, but you got all that overhead. You got the bricks and mortar, the building, the parking lot. You got to hire people to the cash register person to check people out. You got to stock the shelves. You got to order more stuff. All that stuff that they're doing is being done in this auto trader 100% all by itself. It's automatically buying product, putting it on the shelf, and selling it off as the customers come or as the prices move up and down. I mean, this is a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar.
All right. Abdullah had a question on the chat. I'm going to ask real quick of you. It's one of your, I don't know if
Can
it's
I
your
can I
least.
make one more comment? There's
Of
no way
course.
to lose
Sure.
unless the coin goes out of business.
Hmm.
And they got to go out of business before you've taken a whole bunch of profits. Because if I've already taken all these profits, like how are they ever going to get this 150,000 back from me? Because that's closed
Okay.
profits. I'm up almost 100 grand on ACH. They're only down 55%, and the coin has already gone down from 12 cents to just under 2 cents. So I mean, it's already sitting at the bottom. And I've still taken 150,000 in profits. And you can't take that 150,000 back from me, even if the coin went out of business. That's the most they could take is that 51,000. But I keep taking profits. I mean, here's more profits right down here. I mean, I can just look right at it, right on here. There's another $101. I mean, it's just constant free money, and that money adds up forever. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Attila.
No, it's I don't know if it's your favorite question or your least favorite question, but Abdullah's asking about a succession plan. What happens
Well,
if you
that is a no-brainer. My son is, he's 35 years old. He's been programming these auto traders since he was, for the last 15 or 17 years.
Mhm.
He's got a biochem degree. He's never going to stop doing this. You don't conquer the market and then stop. You don't do something that everybody said could not be done and still says cannot be done. That's the amazing thing. Everybody out there is still in denial, which is remarkable. I mean, and we'll never stop, and we keep getting better and better. You're gonna like this new feature, by the way. This menu, I haven't. This is in the way. This, it's not. It's almost ready to release this health meter that's automatically gonna show you. Oh, come on. It's gonna show you anything wrong with your trader, and it's gonna have the solution out there.
Wow, look at
Yeah,
that. That's
trader not
amazing.
set to save profits. That's an informational one. See the informational. That's just telling you that, hey, your trader's not set to save profits, and it really should be. Or trader has used 80% of the maximum allowed number of lots for one or more symbols, you know, and then it's going to be, like your Quest diagnostics. Everything that is good is at the bottom. They're all checked. So there's no other issues in this auto trader.
That's
So
amazing.
any issue you have, this auto trader is going to tell you ahead of time, and you're going to just click a button to automatically fix it. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna love it. I love
That
it.
looks great. That
I'm
looks
excited.
amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Wow.
Yeah, it's coming really soon.
Awesome. Okay, Edward, you want to grab a question or two?
Yep, yep. Scott, I'm going to work from the bottom of the top because this is an easy one. Says Ed B, can you put cash remaining in quotes section on my trader page under account value?
I think that's
Right
already
under
there.
here, you want the cash, the available cash.
That figure is actually right now on the select currency screen.
Right.
Yep.
How much
Yeah.
funds are still available?
Yeah. If you would go to that, just so I'm sure Scott knows where it is,
Can
but
I ask why you want that there? That's an important thing.
Yeah. I think, well, I will tell you
What
from
is the purpose of it? I'm just wondering, what is your mindset? What is it you're looking at when you're thinking of that number? I like to know those things because I don't want to just clutter the screen with useless information.
But I will tell you, some people do get confused with account value versus how much money they have remaining to be traded because they forget that account value includes every other coin that's sitting in their Coinbase account that's not being
Right.
traded.
Right. So this is just the cash that's available still. But the software divided up all that money, that
No, go up,
120.
go up, go up, Ed. Scroll up. Scroll up. You'll see those figures, cash remaining?
Right, that's after you subtracted out the profits saved.
Hmm.
So you're saying you want to see the cash that combines all the cash that's available.
Maybe it should be tradable cash remaining.
Well, I mean, it's just another word, you know. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it could do that. I'm just saying though that what we're gonna do, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. This account value is gonna be a link, and you can click it.
Ah,
And I'm working on that down here. You see this trade reports here, this
yep.
kind of thing. Um,
So you're going to break it
it's
out?
gonna have a series of things on there. We see more stuff than you see. I mean, I can see your account value from the beginning, from the time you first signed up, all the
Yep.
way to now. You know, to each day. I can see the trade reports of every trade you did during, and I'm gonna give you all these things when they're ready. Um, you know, and here's a breakdown, you know, that
Wow.
that's not showing up. But it's gonna show a breakdown of, oh wait, it's thinking. Yeah. You know, it's gonna show all that stuff. You know, you're gonna be able to click on that and it's gonna show you all your cash and everything.
Look at that
You
breakdown.
know,
Holy cow. That's
I
great.
mean, current
Hmm.
profit saved, available to trade. I mean, there's a lot more than meets the eye here. Um, So I don't want to just throw one number under here when you're going to get a link you're going to click on it. It's going to bring up all the numbers. You can
Yeah,
see
that
it all.
makes
I mean,
total
and
sense.
there's just so much, you know, trader details, which you don't ever want to have to look at. I mean, it's nasty stuff, you know. I mean, there's a lot more than going on in this auto trader than this pretty little screen here,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know.
Well, Scott asked for one thing and he got five. So
Yeah.
almost. It's not released yet,
Okay.
but
Good, good. That's great. Great news. Great
yes,
news.
it's a
Thank
great
you.
resource. Okay. Attila,
The
Pam's got
important
some
stuff is right here on the main screen.
true.
This
True.
is showing you how much the coins are up or down today, each coin.
Right.
This one here is showing you the current price. Um, you can click on a plus, and it actually shows you the next buy price. See, it's not a black box. This isn't hidden. It'll show you the next estimated declining price. If the price drops, it's currently at 19502. If it drops to 1799, 01799, it'll buy more. Or if it goes up to 5 cents, it'll add to the advancer. But also, what you don't see here is the gap between these two numbers. It can add to gaps. So it can actually buy on a decline, buy on an advance, and fill in gaps. Remember what I said? I don't like big no man's land. If the coin drops 20% and you buy more, you got this big empty space here where you don't own it. I don't want the price going in there where it's going up and down and you're not making any money. I want the price. I want to be able to buy more in that gap. And so we're always chasing the coin wherever it goes. Chase the price. That's the secret to the market. So it's also telling you where it's going to sell. That was the buys. It's telling you my profit goal here, target profit, is at 20457 right here. 20457. So if the price goes from the current price, which is 19502, up to 2 cents, then it'll sell it and take the profit.
Yeah, and that reminds me to mention, Ed,
Or
we
here
didn't
it is.
talk about it here, about the profit goals build in the trading fees. So your
Right.
profits are net numbers.
Sometimes someone will send me email and say, how come my auto trader is not buying? Well, if you click on the plus next to any symbol,
Yeah.
you can see that you're down 1% on this coin and you're adding on 3%. That alone tells you it's not going to buy more because it's got to drop 3%. It's only down 1%. But the other thing is, it's also telling you the price it's got to drop to, which is right here, up here. The declining price, it's got to drop to 1799. So it's not ready to buy more. You'd be surprised how many emails we get where people say that. Could you review my trader? Some of you know you're in there. You sent that email. You know, could you review my trader? It doesn't seem to be trading much, you know. And I'm like, it's taking every dollar that Mark is willing to give it, man. I am not, I mean, we are stalking that market like the ever ready money rabbit, man. And we're not letting the market breathe without giving us money. But we're not going to add more when there's no reason to add more. Dollar cost average means lower your dollar cost average. So if you're adding to a coin, you don't want, Bitcoin's a perfect example. It's sitting at 113 now, which is fantastic because it's been sitting at 111 for a week or two. And people want to buy more, and I'm like, no, why keep buying more at the same price? You know, then you're just going all in. It's holding that money back so that when that Bitcoin drops to 99,000, you're going to have money down there to add more at the lower price. Don't use it all up here. That's a trick that the market's doing. It's holding Bitcoin at that price. It's holding it at one price, and the people keep throwing their money in at the same price. You're using up all your money there. Reserve the money for when you need it, when you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. Be able to buy more at the lower price. Millions of people are buying holders out there. Buy and hold means you threw all your money in at the top, and then because in your mind it was going to go straight up. And in the auto trader's mind, it says, you know, I think it's going to go all the way down. So the software is dividing up your money, saying, I'm going to put my toe in the water up here, and I'm going to reserve money for when it does go down here. I'm going to still be in the game. Just like ACH. I went in it when it was at 12 cents, now it's at 2 cents. And I'm still in the game. Buying and selling, buying and selling. I got them trapped, and there's nothing they can do to stop me. I'm not violating any laws, even though it feels criminal.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Ed.
Sure.
Um, Edward, you were going to say something to me.
I don't know, but Pam has a great question. Actually, came very early on. I was
Oh,
burned by Voyager. I'm sorry, Pam. I don't know what that is, but I can
I
surmise.
know. I
And
know what.
notice the serious wallet hacks in the last few days. How does GoBaby Trade and its interface with Coinbase prevent loss due to these issues or others?
All right, two things. Number one, Coinbase should have turned this feature on for everyone, but they didn't. So that means I try to make sure that everyone who has a Coinbase account turns this on. Under the menu, all the way down here, Coinbase allow list. Turn that feature on in Coinbase. You can actually click that button and it'll take you right to the Coinbase page that Coinbase, the allow list is on. Without that feature turned on, if somebody got into your Coinbase account, you wouldn't even know you were hacked until all your coins were gone already. That's how criminal it is. That's how easy it is to rob you. But with that feature turned on, they have to add their address to the Coinbase allow list address book. And then that stops any transfers for 48 hours. If they add their address, if the hacker adds their address to the allow list address book, Coinbase immediately sends you an email and says someone added an address to your allow list address book. And then you can go to that page and delete the address out of there to stop the transfer. You got 48 hours to do that. Now, now Go Baby, Coin or Kraken has another feature called the GST or GSL, General Security. They have another feature that stops all. I love Kraken's feature. That they have the ability, you get a separate password. That's called the master password, separate from your login password. And you can turn off any transfers forever of your transfers of your coins, transfers of your money in your bank account, and so they can't transfer your money, your coins out, um, or your cash out. And that's a beautiful feature. And if you ever want to do a transfer, then you have the master password that's only used for that, and you can go in and you can disable that for a few minutes and do your transfer and then turn it back on. Coinbase doesn't have that. Coinbase has the one where it freezes the trades for 48 hours. Both of them are good. I would not want to live without them. I personally have a security key that when I log into my Coinbase, it asks me for my email name and my password, and then it says insert security key. It's a physical device. I plug into my USB on my laptop, and then I click it, and it lets me in. Now, lately, people have been getting emails or text messages. I've got some on my phone even, where they say someone is trying to log into your account from Pakistan or other places, from Russia or from India. If it's not you, call this number. Don't call the number. That's a hacker.
No,
Okay.
never, never.
Also, anyone who already has a Go Baby Trade account, what do you see every time you log into your account for the first time of the day, every day? A big warning on the screen. I pop up a message that says, if you don't have if you don't have these security features turned on, turn them on. And it warns you, and it says don't answer emails, don't answer your phone. Coinbase is never going to call you. You should be so lucky. Coinbase isn't going to call you and tell you something's wrong with your account. They would never do that, but you'd be surprised how many smart people actually fall into those traps. Someone gets a text message that says someone's trying to access your account from Pakistan. If it's not you, call this number. And they call the number. I'm like, are you serious? I thought you were a smart guy. I've been talking to you for a year. So anyways, it's an easy trick, I guess. It's an easy trap to fall into, but don't call the number. Do not. Call me first. At least get my 2 cents on it.
Yeah,
If I think it's a hack. Sometimes people send it to me and say, Ed, do you think that's real? And right away I reply back and I go, no, it's not real. That's clearly a hack. So
yeah.
don't
I
be,
get on a daily basis. I get someone generated a code to withdraw from your Coinbase account. If that was not you, call us at this number. It's always a different number. I never call, and it's a total scam. So
yeah.
do not respond to those messages, folks. Like Ed just said, they're not going to reach out to you. Okay, they're definitely not
Coinbase
going to
isn't going to
call you,
reach
and they're
out to
not
you.
going to be texting you. Now, email maybe, but
I don't even respond to those.
here's the best thing to
What
do.
I would do is I would go to my computer and I would log into my Coinbase account and see if
Exactly.
anything pops up. If they're
Exactly.
not telling me there's a problem when I log in, then you know it was a hack.
Right. Right. Okay.
Definitely don't respond or click on anything in an email because then you don't
No.
know where it's sending you.
Okay. Edward.
I've got a tidbit to add on to that. I personally use two-factor authentication using Google Authenticator that I can't get in unless I have 3 pieces of information to include that key that changes every, I think it's 90 seconds. So, I mean, if we're talking about improving your financial life, protect your house. And a lot of the stuff that we're going to put into that are already in the frequently asked questions, of which I just posted in the community, the Go Baby Trade frequently asked questions link. But all of that stuff, we're always looking out for you to improve and to make sure, if we're going to help you build the castle, that you keep it secure. So,
2 Right.
2FA. You
my
mentioned
two cents.
2FA.
Well, there is one more thing that I would like to add to all this since we're talking about
Sure.
security. I notice when I'm helping people, if I'm going to help them connect to their Coinbase account to create the API keys to connect the software, I notice sometimes someone will take an hour to log in to their Coinbase. Oh, I can't remember my password, that kind of stuff. And they go crazy, right? If you can't log in, then your spouse isn't going to be able to log in.
Mm.
And what I always say is, like my wife, I can tell you this, she has the ability to sit down in front of my laptop all by herself and log into my Coinbase account. So if anything did happen to me, she has access. Okay? Test that. You can test that, work with your loved ones and make sure that if anything happens to you, that you didn't just you're not going to lose all your coins because it's just going to disappear. If she doesn't know how to get in there, she or he, then it's just going to be gone. It's the same thing with these cold storage devices and all that. If you lose it, you're kind of in hot water, you know. So
Yeah.
anyway, stuff to think about.
Yeah,
I don't want
absolutely.
to scare new subscribers away from crypto because really, once you set this up, I don't even log into my Coinbase account hardly ever. Unless I'm going to take money out or put money into my Coinbase account, I really don't log into my Coinbase
One
account.
other one other trick of the trade. Okay, if you do use 2FA, whether it's Authy or Google Authenticator, you'd be crazy not to use it if you have crypto.
Yeah.
Keep your 2FA on a different phone. If you have to, go buy the cheapest phone possible and keep your 2FAs. Because if your phone is stolen and you've got an account on there and people can access not only your Coinbase account, but your 2FA codes, then you're really screwed. So if you lose your main phone, you've got your other phone that has the
Well,
codes.
I've known people that lost their phones, and then you just have to get with Coinbase and rescan in your driver's license and revalidate yourself. But it
Yeah,
is a pain in the neck.
right, right. Okay, Edward?
All right. Arlene, I just I'm assuming just bought the trader 9.5 of 25.
Yeah, let me grab this one,
Welcome,
Edward,
five,
only
five.
because Edward, only because I helped Arlene go live. We actually
Right.
did a Zoom, and
Yep.
I just texted her saying that this question is a little bit confusing because it says, I noticed that the highest trade coins on the report are not the coins that the auto trader set up. That doesn't
Oh,
that
so let me play
what does she
interpreter.
mean? What
Yeah,
does she mean?
Arlene, please type in if this is not the right interpretation. I think she's saying that the coins that are default, and you would know if you assisted her, Attila, did she use the default or did you help her select coins, right?
I
So
don't
the
I don't
defaults the current defaults are not the top trade coins. The default coins, I think, somewhat mirror what I showed you in my simulator because 5 months ago they were the highest traded, but at the same time, they've been some of the highest traded over the last year. I didn't make a decision based on just a small amount of information, and I
Right.
think that's why the default settings are there. So I think
But the default settings that we put in there are based on the coins, the most traded, highest volatility coins that people are actually using.
right,
These
right,
aren't necessarily the the ones that people are using because there are a lot of over the last few months, the numbers have slowed down a lot in these coins. You can see over here 125, 242, 145, but then they really slowed down over here, the last couple months.
right.
So some people are looking at these things and saying, well, the numbers have slowed down a lot. I don't really want to jump into those. But the other coins, the default coins, Bonk, Ondo, Pepe, Whiff, and Sui, those those more people are trading with those coins, Arlene.
Right.
So
Yeah.
those are good coins. Those are definitely highest moving coins.
Yeah.
And
Over
something
the
about this report, a very important thing to note is the report here is designed to show you the top moving coins. It's not here to compare one coin against another. And you know, it's here just to show you the top moving coins. The top moving ones with 958 trades in a year, 736, 40 trades in a month, 80 trades in a month. If I was going to sort that, I could sort it like the monthly average. You know, compared to the slowest movers at the bottom. You know, it's really designed to steer you away from the junk that doesn't move. These coins that are going to give you 3 trades in a month. I don't want to trade coins like that. You know, that's what it's all about. It's really, some people try to debate with me about this report, and I'm like, you know, you're looking at it all wrong. I'm not here to try to, and I'm not here to tell you how many trades this coin is going to do next month. You know, this is a 1-year report. You know, we don't know what any coin will do month over month. You know, and remember, there's a lot of manipulation in the market. You know, so I think there's a big slowdown in the market. I hear it a lot. You know, September's really slow. This is the August report, and September's no better. Things have slowed down.
Well,
And
wait for if you've been paying attention to the
it's a
news.
temporary slowdown, and the reason it's slowed down is these coins are already sitting at the bottom. So what are they going to do? They can't really go lower without running the company out of business.
Just remember, over the last, if you're a real crypto fanatic, what do they say about October? October.
October.
So wait.
I'm hoping, man. I love a good payday.
Well, it's everybody's going to get paid very, very well.
Okay,
All right,
Ed,
Russ says my trader doesn't seem to be doing much of anything with coins. I have decided, I guess, I've decided to stop trading and place in the allow sale only category.
So you're unchecking the allow sell? Or you're leaving the allow sell check, but unchecking the allow buy and allow sell. I mean, the
right.
allow advancers and decliners.
Yep.
Add to price on declines. If it's slowed down, then what is the problem with adding more? Why stop the buying? If it's not buying anyways, if things have slowed down, it's okay. These coins have taken a big drop in the last
Yep.
few months.
They
And
have. They have.
and that's, to me, that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
giving you a chance to load up. It's giving you a chance to load up at the bottom.
Yep.
I mean, and this is what I try to tell people, you know, when people call me and say, should I slow down, you know, and actually look at that, look at this rise. You know, it is, that's the last month. Here's the last 7 days. Here's the last 1 day. They're just, I mean, I wouldn't stop it from trading.
Nope. What? I mean, actually, Lady M's got a great comment. Still waiting for the Treasury report. Also, wait for next week. What is it? I believe it's the 17th, which is when the Fed that's been hemming and hawing about rates. Watch what happens next week.
Just numbers going up and down, you know, and you know, what's the rush? Unless you're gonna run out and buy a Ferrari tomorrow, you know, and I mean, I don't get it. I mean, you put money in a bank and you let it sit there for years and years and years and don't make anything, or you put it in some crazy mutual fund or a bond, you know, and you let it sit there until you get it. And you're getting older and older and older, and your money's not growing. Here, you're turning inventory. You're constantly taking profits. That profits is just going to keep adding up forever. But you got to buy in order to sell. You got to have inventory to sell.
Right.
And if you're
Right.
going to stop it from buying when it goes down, I don't get it.
It's like shutting your 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's like loading up the shelves in the 7-Eleven and then locking the door and saying, I don't want to sell it because I noticed not a lot of cars are coming lately. It's like, yeah, but you got all that in. You want to keep the business going.
Be patient, grasshopper. All right, Alan says, can you please discuss equal funds versus equal shares? How are profit percentages calculated on each setting?
Yeah, that's a real beast. The bottom line here is equal shares slows down the buying on a down market, because if I'm trading, say I want to buy 10 shares just for example, and the price goes lower and I'm still buying only 10 shares at a lower price, that means I'm investing less money in a down market. As it goes lower, I'm investing less money in that coin, which means though I'm also, making less money on the return.
Right.
So both of them work fine. You see, I haven't changed mine. It's still equal shares. That's what it was for the last few years. Um, Equal funds though is also good, because it's just taking your money and dividing it up equally, so every trade is the same amount of money no matter where it goes. You're making the same amount of money per trade, whether the coin's down 70% or it's not. You're still making the same amount of money per trade. But remember something, it's all the prices are all over the place. So no matter which one we really pick, the prices are jumping around. So it's almost random what you're doing, So it's not. I Here's how I look at it. When I first start, I was in equal shares, but if I'm adding more money and I'm already at the bottom, and I'm increasing these lots. See, I started with 25 lots down here, right? 25 lots gave me a 75% trading window, a 75% drop. 3% drops times 25 is going to be a 75% drop. You're covered for that. So the software makes sure you can always trade, even all the way down to a 75% drop. But then as the coins dropped 75%, I started raising it, and I've got it up to 40 lots, which is really all the way to the bottom now. I'm just saying, hey, fine, I can trade all the way to the bottom. And so as I was increasing them, it makes sense to sometimes just say switch to equal funds, because if I only add 5 more lots, it's going to squeeze all my money into those 5 lots. So why bother with equal shares when I can just say divide the money I just put in equally for 5 more lots?
He's asking, Alan, who asked that question, says, so profits are based on the amount of the funds used?
Well, profits are based on how much. You have your profit set to 3% profit goal, so yeah, it is based on the amount of money invested in that trade.
Mm.
And that's why some people want to increase their profits. They want to say, I want to make more per trade, and the thing is, sometimes I think it's unrealistic what people are asking for. They
Yeah.
don't realize that number one, you don't want to put all your money in at the top, because when that market drops 50%, and it will, the market doesn't care. The market will leave you bleeding in a gutter, man. The market doesn't care about you at all. And it'll slam these coins all the way down. I learned that in the 2000 market crash. They don't care. They'll take every dollar you have. Forget about your kids' college education, everything. They'll take it all. They want it all. The rich want all your money. So the thing is, you got to be able to trade all the way down to the bottom. But the fact is, even 1% a day is 365% a year. So what if you were trying to get 100% a year? Divide 100% by 365. You really don't have to make that much. And then you're going to get crazy windfalls, when these coins jump 50% in a day or 30%, and you sell all that inventory off at a beautiful profit. It's not hard. If I look here at these highest trades, this guy got 477% that year, or in the last 12 months, 255% for that one, 200% for that one. It's not hard to double your money from nine. He did more than double. He took 20,000 in profits. This one doubled, well, took 8,000 in profits. To get 100% return, who gets 100% return? All right, here, this
Yeah.
guy here is someone down here. Started with 24,000 and took 26,000 in profits. Even these are very impressive numbers. You know, Warren Buffett would go crazy over returns like these. I mean, there are some clients with $1 million accounts, and they have multiple accounts, and they're watching their money grow like crazy. It's just there's nowhere else you can park your money and get returns like these. People are selling their rental properties. They're just doing all kinds of stuff to find money to throw into the account. It's the ultimate savings account where you can park your money and watch it grow.
Hey Ed, what if we only came on and said it'll make 30% on your money?
Well, you know, even that would be nice if you could if you just do that. I could run a
Right.
hedge fund and tell people I'll give you 30%, you know.
What and it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek question, because where else can you consistently get that even 30% on your money? Now, when we started this, I said we're gonna show you factual stuff, right? The report that you just saw that shows 477% and then down from there. These are not made up numbers. These are actual people that own traders, right? So
And no manual trades. If this anybody here anyone does a manual trade, they don't even show up in the report.
right.
So, and that's one of the reasons why the report is actually smaller, because a lot of people just manually do stuff. I
Yeah,
never do a manual trade.
now's a good
Even for 1 penny. If my auto trader has 1 penny to go before it's going to take profit, I won't manually close that position. I will let the auto trader do it. I don't even care if the price goes lower again without going up that penny, and it goes lower and I don't close the position. I don't care. You're not pushing me around, market. I'm in control, not you. I'm in control of this market. I mean, I
Hey,
got trapped.
Attila, this is
Yes.
a good time for our PSA. Why don't you tell people what they shouldn't do?
Well, they certainly should not touch the settings.
Thank you. That's the
Oh
answer
yeah,
I was
I
looking
know.
for. That's
I
the
used
answer I
to
was looking
debate with
for.
Attila on that one.
Right. Right. So again, just to finish to belabor my point is that what we're showing you is factual information, right? And I'm going to show you something at the end as soon as we finish. We've got a couple more questions. That is, if it were, all right. So Ed, let me ask you this. Normally you show a different account
Well,
that
you
you
know, people
start
get
with.
discouraged when you show them $1 million accounts. They feel
Well,
like they need
but
$1 million.
no,
I
I
just
get
got
it. But
so much
there's
negative feedback on that. I just said, you know what? I'll show you $500,000. I don't know.
that's okay. So but we're talking
I mean, I
facts.
can show you a
Right?
$150,000 account that I opened 3 weeks ago.
That it spits out the same amount of profit, right? And I showed you
They're
my
all the same. It's just
yeah,
numbers
right,
going up and down.
right. But the $1 million account that you normally show, right? That's the one that you started day one when you release the trader. Then to now, right? I always say I'm from public school. I don't know my math unless I have a calculator, right? That $1 million account started with $200,000 just a little bit over 4 years ago, right? So if you look at what it's done, it's literally over that period of time in total 5 extra money, right? So but you're right. It's hard for people to believe when they have been
And
mistrained.
it's up to the market though. See, that's the thing. The first year I turned it on, the market went straight down.
And it's been going
So
straight down.
it
That's
did
my point.
I wasn't up double that first year. What it
Right.
did is in the first year it took enough profits to offset the drop. So I was actually I mean, account size wise, I was right where I started. Even though the prices of the coins were down 90%, which was phenomenal. And then it was like, holy Toledo, it's going to be off to the races from
Right.
here,
Yeah.
because the profits never stop. That's the
Right.
beauty.
So what's the
It's
big
like finding
takeaway?
money on the ground almost every day of your life. Even if you found $1 or $2 or $10 on the ground, it wouldn't take long before you'd be walking with your head down, and you know it.
Yeah, so what's the takeaway? That in a 90% plus down market since you created this, it has created consistent returns.
The takeaway is the market is an insult to humanity.
I'm trying to make it real for people to realize that where else are you going to beat 20%, losing 20% in your money if it's in the bank or your mattress, when you can put it into something that you no longer have to think about. It just grinds out free money.
Right. It's a no-brainer.
Well, okay, so we're down to a couple of questions. Scott, Ed, my screen.
Scott who?
Scott Logan.
Okay.
Sorry,
not
Scott.
not the other Scott.
Ed, my screen does not.
Yeah.
This is for you, Ed. My screen does not show the percentage of profit like yours does. Can you add that to our screen? Is that under the? I'm assuming he's referring to
Today's moves.
Today's moves.
I think that shows on our trader, doesn't it?
It
shows on everybody's trader. That's just I could bring up your trader here. It would be right there. It would be the same.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where are you looking? This is today's move.
The only place
percentage of profits.
Yeah.
That's just today's move. How much it's moved. Each coin has moved up or down today. You can see it hasn't even, none of the coins are even moved 3%, so nothing's really, you can see nothing's going on. There's no action here. There's no buys, there's no sells. If the market's not moving, the market's not moving. There's nothing to do. You can't, there's no reason to jump in and buy or sell if the prices aren't even moving.
He's saying hit the plus sign.
Hit the plus?
Yep. So hit a plus sign by one of your signs.
Oh, are you not seeing some of this stuff on the right? That's what he's talking about. Some of this stuff is only for, the developer to see.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you see this. You definitely should see this for sure.
Yep, we do.
You see how much the coin is, this one lot is up or down, and you see the percentage that it's up or down. Yeah.
Okay. Is it Saif? We'll get to your question in a second. It's in the chat. I'm going to show you an example that I was referencing. He's referencing how much more is better, but how much should I, realistically, if I started with, we'll give you an example, and we'll show you over time what it could turn into.
I can say this. I don't care if you ran this thing in paper trade mode for 3 years. What you will learn will change your life forever. So there isn't a rush. The rush is to get in, to be honest. And I'm not being a salesman. A lot of times people ask me, should I get a second account for this reason and all? And I say, no, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't get a second account for that. I'm not trying to sell you auto traders, multiple auto traders, but you really do need to get on board because it'll change your life forever, because this is consistent money for the rest of your life. And I see a lot of people coming on board, and almost every day, they're telling me, they're like, I'm opening an account for my son or my daughter, and I go, oh, how old is your daughter? And he goes, 23. I'm like, whoa, perfect. Do you know how rich she's gonna be by the time she's our age, when she's got an auto trader grinding out free money for the rest of her life? And plus, what I really like about when young people come on board is they don't get caught up in all that hype on the internet. There's so many lies and scams out there. It's like I can't stand it, man. Listening to all that stuff on Reddit and everything. Everybody talks like they know everything. Hey, I put my money where my mouth is. There it is. I created an auto trader, millions of lines of code. I put it out there for everybody. There's no baloney. I eat my own dog food, as Steve Ballmer used to say at Microsoft. When he said Windows, Windows, Windows. I don't want anybody programming in anything except Windows. When they took OS2 away, I almost cried. I loved OS2. Actually, to be honest with you, I did cry. All right, I'll be honest. I cried. But at Microsoft, we ate our own dog food. We programmed in Windows, and we stuck with it, and Windows is cool.
So, Attila, you want to take Thomas's?
Yeah, this is actually an interesting question, Ed. It said Thomas is asking, let's say I want to buy $5,000 worth of BTC, Bitcoin. Can you explain how I would dollar cost average using the trader without allowing it to affect my trading coins? And can it automatically stop when $5,000 worth of Bitcoin is accumulated or reached?
Well, I mean, it's sure. You just go to your select currency screen, go up here. I'm going to just go ahead and put BTC. I'm going to play with this number for a minute. All right. That's about as low as I can go. 1% of the money I have, there's $6,000. That's all it's going to use. And then tell it don't sell. Allow adding to decliners, allow adding to advancers, but don't sell, just allow it to accumulate. So on 3% on 3% moves, which is what the strategy is, it'll just accumulate your Bitcoin. Done. Now some people they say they want to trade Bitcoin on 1% moves. Well, in that case, you would have to have a second auto trader. Okay? You would need to get a second auto trader and put it in your Coinbase create a Coinbase wall
Portfolio?
portfolio, a portfolio for Bitcoin, a separate one. You'd put $5,000 into that account, and then in that case, then you could run a separate strategy for that account, and then you would put 100% there because you wanted to use 100% of that 5,000, and then let it dollar cost average.
Hmm.
Piece of cake. We can help you
Good.
do that. So
Good
Is that a
stuff.
second?
whichever one you want to do.
Is that a second with the portfolio? Is that the same trader or a second
No,
trader?
it's a separate trader. You would have to
Oh,
have, because it's going to have separate rules. Some people have asked, and you may be on here. I understand you've sent the request many times. I hate to say, asking the same thing. Can each auto trader have its own set of rules? Yeah, but you know what? If you saw the code in here and what you're asking for, it's so much easier. Just buy a second account, will you? And save me millions of lines of programming. I mean, I'm gonna go banana. I'm gonna go absolutely bananas trying to do what you're asking. You're better off. It's so simple. Just get a second auto trader and be done with it. You're worried about $3,500 over a 3-year period. I mean, seriously. I mean, is $3,500 worth me my psyche? Like the Beatles. They paid with their DNA or their nervous systems, right? But they gave us great music.
Right.
Um,
So
you
that's
know,
that's available in the $25,000 a year version.
nah, it's much easier to just get a second account.
Right. True.
It doesn't make any sense to make every one of your coins have all different rules. Seriously. I mean, the market's random. It's a random market, and sometimes people change their settings thinking that they're going to somehow affect the market, and it really doesn't matter. These are the optimal settings that thousands of us are using,
yeah.
and they work great, and the market's all over the place, trying to change your rules all the time doesn't make sense. And I know some of you do it, some people they'll make a change in the strategy, and then tomorrow the market jumps up and they think they found the holy grail. I'm like, you didn't find anything, man. The market was going to go up. You didn't make the market go up. Somehow, if your rules made the market do stuff, then it would be a whole different ballgame. But the fact is, you're just piggybacking what the market's doing. The market's going to jump around randomly, and you're taking advantage of that random movement. And that's it. We're not here to try to dictate to the market. We're not ordering the market around.
Yeah. I mean, my 2 cents is the faster you realize the power that you've just seen over the last 2 hours and 24 minutes, the faster you start changing the landscape of your financial future. I mean, I say it
Well,
all the time, privately and publicly, to Mr. Barsano, is he's given me the power to effortlessly create a legacy for my children's children. That's
it is.
sink
And the thing
sink
is,
that.
some people
Let,
wait. some people are waiting for the market to do something before they jump in, but then understand something. You see these 18 lots? That's 18 buys at a higher price. Each finger is one lot. Let me get my toes up here. I'm kidding. I mean, but that'd be like, I mean, it takes a while to build inventory like that. That's why I'm saying everybody that's not on board needs to just get on board. Don't wait for the market to do something, because the biggest money you're going to make is the crash. You want to load up. You want that market to go down. And I know that's the opposite of what most people think. They buy something and they want it to go straight up, and I'm like, you're not going to make any money if it goes straight up. So you got put one bag of potato chips on your shelf in your store, a whole school bus full of kids pulls in, and you sell one bag of potato chips because you don't have any more inventory to sell. And at the instant you buy something, no matter what the landscape looks like, the market could look wonderful today, and then you buy a bunch of coins, but then what's going to happen tomorrow? We don't know. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Then there you go. Now it's a random market. And you want to be able to plan for when it goes down. So which means you don't want to put all your money in at once. You don't want one of these 18 lots here. You don't want one of those to hold all your money. You want to spread that money around. Let me show you here. On the left here, it shows funds used. This one used $3,200. Scroll down, 3,500. 3,500, 3,800, 4,100, 4,100, 3,900. So you see what I mean? It's spreading your money around. It didn't take $100,000 and just buy it all of it and use up all my money in one fell swoop. It spread that out so that I've got money no matter where the price goes. So when the price goes up into these price ranges, it's just going to be off to the races. You're going to sell. I'm going to be selling inventory off, and then it's going to be wiggling down, because coins don't go straight up or straight down. They wiggle, and that wiggle is gold, because while it's going up, you're buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, and it's just constant. It's just a constant flow of money. It's free money. So the sooner you get started, the sooner your auto trader can start doing its job and start building its inventory. It's actually prepping you for the kill.
Yep.
For when these things take off. And in the meantime, you're still taking profits. I mean, I took all this free money while the market was crashing. How wonderful is that? Plus, I got all that inventory that I'm sitting on. These 32 lots of inventory here, 25 lots of Shiba Inu, 24 lots of Swift. I love it. So I'm sitting on all that inventory. It's like, all right, you can never go back to those prices. I mean, I got you trapped. I literally have the market trapped. Sometimes when prices go down, you think it's just you. You're feeling bad. It's just you. Prices are down. I feel bad. It's like, no, the prices are down for everybody in the world. That coin is sitting, this GRT is sitting at 9.35, 9 3/4 cents, which is a joke. That is an insult. That coin should be sitting at $30 a share. It's, if you looked at the company itself. And
Yep.
instead of sitting at 9 cents, tell me the rich aren't buying $30 million worth of that coin. Well, what are we doing? What is the public doing? They're selling it off because it's down. I'm like, no, you should be buying more while it's down, not selling it. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is where real wealth is built. I mean, we are never going to have a wealth movement like we're seeing, like is going to be, like is happening in the crypto market. We've never had that in our entire generation, our entire lifetime. Forget about the tech revolution, the internet revolution, the housing bubble. Forget about all that baby stuff. This is where real wealth is. And everywhere I go, I mention crypto, people are running scared. I'm amazed.
Well,
I'm absolutely flabbergasted. Everywhere I go, I mention crypto. If I'm in line in a store, I'm talking to the person in front of me and behind me about crypto, and they're out of it mentally. And I'm like, whoa, this just tells me the rich are going to get so rich again and leave everybody behind. It's remarkable. And it's so, and I spent 25 years to prepare for this moment. So I'm in heaven, man.
Hey,
Well, I
Ed,
said, good, Attila. Sorry.
one quickie just came in from Scott. He says, I know the trader buys on 3% dips, but does it also buy when the coin goes up 3%?
Yes. Yes. And it
Yep,
won't buy if it's close to any 3% where it already owns it.
right.
So if it already bought it at that price or within 3% of the current price, it won't buy it. There's got to be a 3% gap from your last buy from any
Yep,
buy.
that's
And it can
cool.
fill in gaps. It fills in gaps where there might be a 6% gap or something between a high buy that you did up here and one down here. It can actually fill in the gap.
Well, Ed, I got to give you I got to give you a serious pat on the back because if it wasn't for you and the message that you're getting out, I don't think you would still have, after 2 hours and 37 minutes, the same amount of people on this Zoom than we started with 2 hours and 37 minutes
Oh,
ago. So that's
you
credit to
realize
you.
you're crazy. All you people are crazy, man. Don't listen to me. I'm nuts.
Well, let me counter that with, let me tell you how intelligent you are to invest your time to see this. Whether you choose to purchase the trader or not, that's up to you. But the fact that you're willing to hear this message, you're beating 92% of the people on the planet that know nothing about crypto. 2% of which have ever done anything in crypto, bought, sold, transacted, whatever the case may be. The market, or I'm sorry, the
You mean
public,
98%
yeah,
haven't done anything?
well, right. Only 2% have. But my point being is, and you've heard me talk about this before. I served in the Matrix for 32 years, so I know what it's programmed to do. I know what it's gonna do right now, and I know what it's about ready to do. This is your best defense as an offense to change the way you live. Forget about all the stuff that you've learned about finance, because I can tell you it's a scam. It was created to
It
keep you
is.
poor. It was
It's
created to keep you poor.
designed to keep you poor forever, you know?
So what does this resonate with anybody? What were you taught to do? Grow up, go to school, get a job, and trade time for money.
And save your money every month. Save so
Buy,
much
buy,
money and it
buy,
just sits
buy,
there.
buy bonds, put it in the bank, collect 0.0001%. If you look at the value of your money, and if you're not making 20% of your money, and I'll explain very quickly why. If the stock market, oh, you can consistently over time make 10 to 12%. Well, great. If you're not making 20% on your money, between inflation, which by the way is programmed into the debt system, the scam in which you live in right now, and the debasement, which is every time the Fed prints a dollar, your buying power goes down. If you're not making 20% of your money, you're just getting rich, or you're just getting poor a lot slower than most people. Don't take our word for it. Do your own research. Click on, I'm going to put it in the chat again, right? There's Crypto Casey's discount link. If you don't care about the discount and you don't care about buying the software, use that link to do your own research. Look at the value of the information that is being provided to you that changes everything you know. And I know you got to be scratching your head going, I told you to put on your 6-point harness at the beginning of this, because what we're telling you is counterintuitive to everything else that you've ever heard of in the marketplace.
Well, the biggest thing that
Right?
people don't want to, they're just not used to is, like I said in the beginning, if it was real, he wouldn't be sharing it with you. Why would
Right.
I be sharing this with you when I can just run my auto traders without you? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a phenomenon. You have to, maybe I need to sit down and talk to a therapist. Why would I be sharing this with you? I don't have an answer for that other than I need the infrastructure in order to run my own auto traders. Plus, I love talking to everybody. It's fun. I've conquered the market. I want to brag about it. I want to brag. I
Right.
mean, who doesn't? You know, I did the Windows NT launch in-house at Microsoft. Most people outsourced it and let other people do it, but once I became in charge and they put Windows NT in my division and gave me control, I said, "Well, I'm going to do the whole launch in-house. I'm not going to use anybody on the outsourcing." Man, did everybody scream over that one, man, when I did it all in-house. I saved the company $12 million doing it all in-house.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm a risk taker, I guess. But, you know, it was fun. It was a nice win and it felt
Well,
good. And it felt
well,
good after I retired in 95. And then I heard talking to other people at Microsoft, somebody told me they said they want all launches done the way Barsano did it. That was great. I
can't
wasn't
blame
even
them.
in the company and I'm still calling the shots. I love
Nice
it.
feeling. Nice
Well,
feeling.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice feeling, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, I've conquered the market, and most people are in denial. They don't even want to look at any of the evidence. I've just showed you tons of evidence. There's guaranteed wins here, and but yet some people will still say, well, there's got to be a scam somehow. There's no way this could really trade on its own, you know. And I'm like, hey, man, I can't fix you, you know. I'm not a therapist, honestly.
With that, I think we're out of questions, but
Yes.
I promised that I would share. I don't remember the gentleman, but we always get this question. So I'm going to show you an example slide without taking much more of your time.
Oh,
I'm
so I
gonna-
should stop sharing.
you
Yes,
should
please.
stop sharing, right? Yes,
Please.
good, good, good. Thank you. Okay. If the market, if well, actually, let me go to this one first. This is based on fact. This is based on what Mr. Barsano's trading performance has been over the last 4 years. This is not made up numbers. Actually, this number is lower than the actual number. But let's just for round numbers, right? If it were to repeat itself, if a 5,000, right, starting with $5,000, if it did, right? These are not promises, but this is just calculating if the market repeated itself. Now, I'm talking about it did this in a 90% plus down market. It's never seen a bull market. What happens if it sees a bull market? 3 years. Take a look. I'm going to draw your attention over here and then I'll explain backwards. After the equal sign is lost opportunity. If you choose not to buy the trader, we're showing you lots of reasons and logic why, but if you don't, okay. 3 years owning the license, your $5,000 turns into 40. I take away your initial investment. I take away more of your investment, which is the investment into the software. After that, if you didn't, lost opportunity, right? 6 years. So if I go, okay, wait a minute. You're going to get, I'm going to give you $5,000 and you're going to give me back 31. How many times are you going to do that? If it continues to perform. If you don't say every time, then you do need a therapist. 6 years, right? You're gonna buy the trader again. Here's what it turns into: minus your 5, minus your almost 7,000, because now you just invested in another renewal of the trader. Good point to stop and point this out. Mr. Barsano, in his graciousness, not only providing this for people, but I'm hearing rumblings, no guarantees, but I'm hearing rumblings that the retail price may go up. If you buy the trader through us, through Casey's discount, then you're locked in at $34.99 in perpetuity. 3 years, 6 years, 30 years, as long as it exists. So there's some reassurance. So minus your 2 years worth, I'm sorry, your 2 cycles worth. Here's your lost opportunity if you don't invest for $34.99 plus starting with 5. You could start with 10, you could start with 20, you could start with whatever you want. What if in that next cycle, 9 years, your lost opportunity is that? Where else are you going to get that kind of return? But wait, there's more. What if it only did half of that? If I said, give me $5,000 in 3 years, I'm going to give you back 8,000. Would that be such a horrible thing?
Well, you know, these numbers are interesting because this is all in a down market. Watch when this market turns up.
Yeah, that's why I prefaced it. So lost opportunity in a bull market, and it could be less than this, but you know, somewhere in there, I asked Mr. Barsano a question. What if it only performed at 30% and it cash flowed for you? Where are you going to find that? I know Attila's cringing because he's like, you get so excited. Well, I'll be damned. I mean, it's really hard not to get excited when you look at the prosperity, the potential of the prosperity that you have. I mean, Attila, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to ask you to talk about. You can only work so hard. Take it from there.
Yeah, and just to dovetail with the ending of what Edward just showed everybody. Those numbers obviously are not guaranteed. They're based on the numbers Mr. Barsano's traders were making for him in the last 3.5 years, but it could be less than that. But guess what? It could also be more than that. So it works both ways. So it is like we've been saying for 2.5, almost 3 hours, it's market dependent, but I know things. I pay good money to technical analysts and I know what's coming. And folks, like I always say, you cannot live 10 lifetimes and have the financial opportunity we have right now in this space. It's mind-boggling how early we are and what's about to happen. You've got ETFs, 93 ETFs are pending approval. 93, they're coming. Clarity Act is coming probably before the end of the year. That's major, major clarity and regulation. That's going to release so much liquidity. And then the entire stock market is going to be tokenized. Every asset in the world, every asset will be tokenized and fractionalized. You can't do that without blockchain and crypto technology. So what I'm saying is it's incredible where we are right now, and it's just going to get better. So what Edward asked me to talk about for 20 seconds is the fact that you could only work so hard. So much elbow grease you could put into making money. But once you make that money with TradFi, traditional finance, up till now, your money's been unemployed. Your money needs a job. It's our responsibility to give our money a job. What's that job? I don't think you could give your money a better job than to put it in the trader and let it multiply itself, where you don't have to be involved. You just go live your life, do your work, enjoy your family, let the trader do it for you, set it and forget it.
Well,
So
it's the
with that,
ultimate savings account.
it is. It is. It's your own savings account, almost like your own bank account, really. And you have the safety of your funds. That's my favorite part. So go forth, everybody. Multiply your money. You know we're here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Ed Barsano, thank you so much for giving up 3 hours of your time, of your week, every week, and being here with us. Glad you're back to feeling 100%. And we'll see you next week. So everybody, thanks.
Yep, don't go away. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on, we all got final words to say.
Yeah, well, no. We just had a request. One of our early adopters, an enthusiastic gentleman by the name of Patrick, asked if he could speak for a minute and share his experience. Patrick, if you're still on, raise your hand.
That would be great.
Yep, we'll give you the floor for a minute. Okay, there you are. All right,
Patrick, I don't recall talking to Patrick.
I'm gonna see if I can promote you, Patrick. I think you just got promoted, but while Patrick's coming on, Grayson, come here. Okay. Here's why I do it. This is what I'm building for.
Right on.
Hi.
All right, buddy. Good to see you.
This is my 10-year-old. This is what I'm building a legacy for.
Awesome.
Dude, you're going to be so rich.
I know.
Thank you, everybody. Sorry, that was a little personal.
Patrick, the floor is yours, buddy.
Dude, good to see you.
Hi, Patrick.
Nice to meet you, Ed.
So you're in time for the closing remarks. Please share whatever you wish, good, bad, or indifferent.
Well, I've just become really enthusiastic about it, actually quite passionate about it. I know that my returns haven't been as high as others, but I know the markets have been flat. But I can just say that this has just been a phenomenal product. And I've been tracking everything from the very first day of trading. January 8th is my anniversary date of this year. and I'm just keeping score. And last week I was on while Ed was out, but Attila and Edward had me on, and we shared some things, and I think it was very helpful for people.
Yep.
So I can answer any questions you want if you want to ask.
Can you share that? Do you have that graph available where people could see when you started and what every month looked like?
Yeah,
Sure.
let me give you shareability. Give me just 1 second. All right, you're free to share. Make sure your desktop is clean.
Okay. And do you see my screen yet?
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Hold on.
Any second now. It's coming on. Okay, we got it.
Okay. So basically, I put together a web page because I wanted this was one of the first projects that I really wanted to get involved with AI and have it scale up. And I've been really happy with it. I have an API connection to a Google Sheet, and I'm just keeping score of everything that I'm doing. This is the amount of profits that I've made since 8 months and 6 days, 854 trades, averaging $4.75. And I think the thing that really strikes home about this is that it's just consistency. And as you can see, it's 100% success here. And this is recording the last 50 trades, which goes back about to August 24th. And in that time, it's been really flat, but still it continues to make money. And look how even it is. I've had 25 closed trades, 25 open trades, and I'm averaging $450 a month, about $16.50 a day. I had my best month in July, actually, for 817. And the one graph that I did not remember to put up here, I can put it up if you want, but I do have that static chart if you want me to put that up of the showing the capital invested. Do you want to see that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And then I have some bar charts here that I've been doing. So, but this is my scoreboard. This is where I'm just keeping everything together.
Hey, are you interested, Patrick, in being Fed chair going forward?
I can do that.
So we can get the truth.
Hang on 1 second here. And,
yeah, sure.
Let me find it. Let's see.
Yeah, this
may
is
have to-
pretty nice.
Yeah, you may have to unshare and share. Yeah, careful, Mr. Barsano. You got somebody running up running up your backside on.
Stuff is beautiful. I'm not a graphic artist myself.
Okay. So this one here was just showing how even though that let me go up here and see if there's another graph that I should show first. Okay, this was the report that I was doing. But anyway, this is, and people have asked how much I've invested. And this is what I started off with in January, which was just a couple of $1,000s. And then I bumped it up a little bit more. And then I put a lot more in. But the interesting thing about this is that even in February, when I only had a few thousand, that was a really good month. And look how well it utilized the capital and made the profit. And I mean, even with a higher balance, and it shows how well it manages your money. It's not going to go all in because it's being very conservative on the buying. And it's reassuring because you don't see your available capital dwindling. So this was just proving the robotic trader scales intelligently and never dumps all capital at once. And then this is the capital deployment over time. So when I only had a few thousand in February, the reinvestments were 24,000, which was incredible because that had one of the highest trade counts. And then this was the monthly position breakdown. Right now I have 125 open positions. Well, a little bit more than that now because it's been kind of even. But as you can see, it opened 202, closed 150. That was incredible. And then July was pretty even too. And then I think, remember, Edward, you were talking about like here in April, how it opened 95 and closed 105. And then you can see the running open here.
Right. That's
And
brilliant.
then also, okay, so this is a comparison of how Bitcoin has performed versus, so even in down markets with, because Bitcoin is always the headline, you can see how it was down almost 15% in February, but look how well we did. Here it's up, but the trader is consistent, very
Sure is.
consistent.
Wow.
And this is just showing the graph or the actual percentages.
Very
And
nice.
then this is the profit per trade analysis of my counts. I'd have to rerun it, but basically the average trade is around $4.70, just like you saw on the website.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: if you walked out your front door every day, and there was a $5 bill there every single day, would you pick it up?
Absolutely.
You did it automatically.
Yep. Just don't get them on the windshields.
Or on the fence, like
Like you were saying.
Mr. Barsano finds his $5
Oh,
bills.
yeah.
Right. Well, excellent, Patrick. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're
That's
welcome.
why I call it free money. It just never ends. And that will never end. It'll only get better as the market goes up. Right now, we've been in a down market this whole time.
Yep.
I
So,
can't wait.
Cool.
Patrick, thank you. You're our surprise guest. So, guess what? In closing, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts?
Yeah. What would you like to share with the audience that like I said, good, bad, or indifferent?
There really are good tools out there, and this one here, I mean, I've tried a lot of different things, and this truly has been money while you sleep. I mean, there's nothing to do. You just let it work. And it's our dream come true, to be honest.
Yeah, it truly is. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well,
Mr. Barsano.
Thanks, Ed. I really appreciate everything
Thank you,
you've done.
Patrick.
Appreciate
much.
you guys. Mr. Barsano, besides Go Navy, what are your parting words?
Go Navy. I saw a guy with what's that store? A store that Navy. What is that?
Go Navy.
It's just Navy.
Oh, it's called Go Navy, right?
No, is it? It used to be called Go Navy. Now it's Old Navy. Old Navy. I know what you were talking about.
I saw somebody with an Old Navy shirt on the other day, and I said, "Hey, Go Navy." No, like I said, I'm not a salesman, but the sooner you get on board, the sooner your auto trader starts building inventory, and that's really what it needs to do. So
You want to buy the trader when the market's in the position where it is now, because believe me, in 10 days or so, it's going to start heading north, and it's going to be going wacko for a couple months minimum.
yeah, you
So-
want to build some inventory. So other than that, I think I appreciate everybody, sticking around. I appreciate Crypto Casey for letting us speak to her audience. And Attila, do you shave every day?
No, I just happened to shave yesterday.
Oh. I got lazy, I love this new style. The new style.
Look. We look at we're like Ed Squared twins. All right. So I just posted Crypto Casey's discount link and your learning link if you choose not to buy it. I'm also going to post in I posted it before, but I didn't talk about it. Pardon me. The 2 emails that you want to keep by your side, which is for non-technical support, RCT, supported RCT marketing systems, and for more technical stuff, supported Go Baby Trade. I'm going to post in one more time, and then we're going to be like Moses and let our people go.
It's there. It's in the chat. I see the link.
Yep. The community again, which then I literally just posted while we were on the call. I posted a link directly to Go Baby Trade's frequently asked questions. Go there first. I promise you, Ed has not heard a question. So
Right.
it's dynamic. You can search by questions. If you still have issues, give us a call. If you buy the trader and you're either not sure how to connect or don't want to do it and you want a little hand holding, reach out to us, schedule a Zoom. We'll get you connected ASAP. You become part of this community. You already are. You're here. Become part of this community. You're literally a community member for life. We appreciate you. And Attila, you said your farewells. I just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to share this. It's obviously, emotionally, it's very meaningful to me. Mr. Barsano, thank you for everything. Attila, I really appreciate you, your friendship, your professionalism, and introducing me to Mr. Barsano. You saw why I do what I do. So go forth and multiply.
Go forth and multiply.
Right.
Go forth and multiply your money with the trader.
Right. So, Abdullah, try a different. You're having difficulty with the link. People are joining the community. If you have an issue, please send me an email, and I think it's as simple as using a browser that allows pop-ups, because there is a little pop-up that asks for your information to collect. So I apologize you're having difficulty, but we'll help you out. Just send us an email. With that, you'll get a recording, a replay. And we also that'll be within about 48 hours. Within 24 hours, we usually post it on Financial Intelligence for you on our YouTube channel. And if you have any other issues, just reach out to us. Happy to help them.
Okay.
Appreciate everybody.
See everybody next time. Thanks for being here today, folks. Ed Barsano, thank you. We'll talk soon. And Edward, great job.
Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Take care.
Go Navy.
Go Navy. I knew it was coming.